Hey, this is Crow Inquisitors. We are back to do some more Burning Wheel, and we are quickly approaching the end of our game as we get into crazier and crazier things. So we're gonna pick back up with Connor and David. Kantarius and Dellen were in the middle of a fight, and I wanna wrap that up before we go back to Alphonse and Theo, because whatever they're gonna do is gonna mess up anything that's happening here. They're like, I think Jared was saying before we got on, like he was gonna like ascend from the clouds on a chariot of fire or something like that, right? Like
they finally defeat the guys they're fighting, and then all of a sudden the patron saints come in and start fighting everybody like way more efficiently, and they're like, "Oh, that was a
yeah." Well, I think I did also say last time that like they're gonna be dealing with the world. Right? Like there's a bunch of stuff happening in the world right now. It's not like the gods are gonna come down and fight your battles right here necessarily. But that'll depend on what your.
It's not gonna be like the ghosts in Pelennor Fields.
No, it's not the Army of the Dead. Yeah, not a Deus Ex Machina Army of the Dead for you. They're just gonna start like giving magic back to their servants and fighting demons and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening on like the supernatural, metaphysical level that they can deal with too. So, but yeah, let's jump back into it. We were in the middle of a fight here, and Kantarius and Dellen. We'll go ahead and flip. Let's just start from the top again.
I do beliefs and system.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yep.
This world is more than blood and gold. I will use the intellectual discipline to clear the obstacles in my path, despite the risks. The world will not end, not on my watch. I will aid Dellen in the battle against Shoei. I am a demon hunter, and I have unfinished business with Faustus. I will create an opening so that I can pursue him.
Sweet. And then Dellen, what are your beliefs?
They are somewhere right there. Sergio may have repented, but the Inquisition is still beyond saving. I will ensure that its leaders are punished and its membership disbanded, which probably won't come up. My father and Faustus have both thrown their lots behind my nephew to get to Ibana and Luca. I must find the demon that has claimed them. Maybe that'll come up. I don't know. The mountain before his limbs ever larger. I will make sure that Kantarius gets out of this battle alive. On my blade of my life, I shall hold the enemies of God at bay. The armies of Shoei have decided to return to my country, so I must prove to them once and for all that they cannot defeat us.
Cool.
Our feet are firmly attached.
Alphonse? What are your beliefs, my friend? You good?
Alphonse, what are your beliefs? Silence.
Well, talking about season 1, Alphonse.
Yeah.
My family will always come first. Now that the city is in chaos, I will ensure that my nephews are safe. We must finish this fight so that Lucerda can finally be at peace. I will rally the people against our enemies. If I lose the orb, it's game over, man. I will survive the encounter with Shoei.
Very good.
I think you reacted to that as though he hasn't said that like 8 times now.
That's so good.
So, Jared, is your goal to interrupt this combat?
If they don't win it in like 2 seconds, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, cool. Theo? What are your beliefs?
I must transcend to sainthood to protect those I love and enact the justice of one true God. I will strengthen my faith. There's one God, the rest are demons. If the patron saints prove themselves to be enemies of God, I will see that they are replaced. I am destined to save the world. I will try to convince the patron saints to help me return to my mortal coil.
Do we want to change belief too? Like, I mean, they agreed to help. Like,
I suppose.
There's one god, the rest are demons. Do we want to make it about fighting demons?
He's still upset at them, so he's still...
like, you could keep it. It would just be like you finding an excuse.
He wants to convince them more.
Right?
Maybe I should...
You could actively sabotage the success you just got with Alphonse.
Face.
Like, no, I refuse. I don't know. I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I might need to think about it.
I was just thinking like Faustus and the demons and stuff, right?
Sure. Yeah, because I want my revenge on Faustus too. So
yeah. Well, you can just do that for now. I will take my
I
ruin.
will help kill Faustus.
Oh yeah, good. Sorry, I was in the middle of editing it too. Go ahead. I'll let you do it.
You erased my 4 words.
I know. I was in the middle of editing it when you started. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna delete what you just wrote. Okay.
I'm doing it now.
Yeah. Go ahead, do it. I'll start this fight, and you can wrap that up. All right, Connor, go ahead and reveal your first action there.
Oh,
He's gonna strike. What are you gonna do?
I was trying to flip the card. Lock.
Okay.
Because I can't do strike 3 times in a row.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's take a look at lock.
I mean, he comes at me with a knife, right? And my straw is right the screen. Sorry.
I'm not hear what you just said.
I had my drink right here, and my straw is just like right in the middle of the camera.
Yeah.
Sorry. He goes for the knife like that, and I grab his wrist and do the classic disarming technique. I'm sure the rules are like, nah, you just get stabbed and die, but
well, I know that like if you get him in a lock, you pull him in. So the way this is gonna work. You're testing your power, but I believe that you can do brawling instead. I think is what we figured out, right? Or did you use power for this last time?
STD POW test obstacle equals half of power. That's what I see.
And just kill the guy. Don't give him an STD.
Well, because like
I don't even know what STD means in this instance.
It's standard.
Standard. Okay.
Yeah. So
standard sexual disease.
Like standard deviation.
The reason
standard
I ask,
STD.
the reason I ask is that like I do know that in the fight rules, like a lot of times those are replaced with like brawling or boxing or whatever.
Sure. Especially with lock. That makes the most sense to me. But
yeah, I'm pretty
like
sure you'd use brawling for that. I'm pretty sure all of the grappling things are brawling, or at least can be.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I felt like this would be like in this action though, like listed somewhere here, but I'm gonna double check what, because I know at the beginning it talks about. Yeah, here we go. Yes, here we go. Brawling grants access to attack, defense, and basic actions, but not special actions. You may use the brawling skill in place of power for the lock and push actions at your discretion. So it doesn't list it on the action itself, but at the beginning of the fight rules, it says like you can replace these, which I figure, but I wanted to make sure I knew the rule there. So the way this is going to work is you're going to test your brawling, and it looks like you're going to test it against the strike. It is half of power, which I think is half of their power. That's your obstacle.
Sweet.
So this should
so
work.
Good.
Now, as a note,
he's a sorcerer. Half of his power is like 2.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't remember exactly. I'll have to pull the character sheet. The one thing that will be working against you here is that technically Locke uses the hand's weapon length. Like you're dropping your staff or like stowing it or something, right? You're probably just dropping it, honestly.
He's using a knife, right? Which is the same.
To do that. Well, I was going to say, I think hands is... Go ahead.
I just stow it in my inventory. I don't understand.
Yeah, he just puts it in his prison pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are for like dropping weapons and picking up weapons like in D&D, so we're gonna ignore that for now. It doesn't matter that much.
I mean, can't I just use the staff to?
Yeah, you can choke
pull them in a lock. Yeah,
probably. My main point being, it uses the hand's weapon length, which I believe I'm gonna double check that.
I mean, I can just use the staff within a hand's weapon length, right? I mean, I'm forcing myself to be in a hand's weapon length, but
what I'm saying is, I think there's a penalty that you get when because you're switching.
No, there's not a penalty.
No, there isn't. You're right. Knife in hands is.
I knew that.
Okay. I think you do get a penalty because no, you don't get a penalty.
That's right. So I don't.
He had a penalty for having a knife. It's the same length though. The hands and knife is so. But will still screw you over slightly. He now has no
not a penalty. Yeah.
Right. You're moving in closer.
Yeah, because basically you were at ideal range for your staff.
Yeah.
And you switch to hands, which if he had a longer weapon, you'd be at ideal range for him.
Yeah.
But since he's also using a knife, you're just at ideal range with each other.
But again, you're great at brawling. I don't imagine you might get stabbed, but you'll definitely get a lock in, right? Okay, cool. So now here's the question. So you obviously do this against power. David, what would be your ruling on the knife thing here? since Connor is doing this, does the obstacle penalty immediately go away? Like, because Connor's closing in at the same time he's stabbing with his knife? Or would it be after? Because I think they're happening simultaneously, right? So it probably is like,
Yeah,
just
I
close.
think the thing is that I think positioning is like an action you can script, like vie for position. So I don't know what happens if you just do it without an action. I guess you could just decide to.
yeah, I think because this is his optimal weapon length, we don't really have to worry about that too much because he's just
Yeah.
closing and
Yeah, I
the
think
guy wants him to. So
If I was gonna say anything, basically, I think they're just both making a free action to close.
Right.
Normally, you have to make an action, but they both want to do it, so there's no
it's
point.
just part of the normal give and take of the battle. Connor's
Yeah.
closing in, and
So I think, it makes sense to think that the bonus goes away, especially because it's about distance and he's closing the distance. So
Yeah.
he's not locking until he's in distance.
cool. Well, let's go ahead and make his strike first, then. Though you won't have to like, apply the wound dice or anything like that until after this volley, right? It's because it's happening simultaneously.
There won't be any wound dice. Believe
Okay,
me.
yeah,
Yeah, you think so? I mean, I guess he's
we'll
not
see.
like great with a knife, right? This isn't his thing.
he's not the best. No,
but he only needs.
He's
one
not the
success.
best, he says.
he has a knife.
He doesn't
skill,
have a
so
white shaded 10.
He's not unskilled with it, is what I'm saying.
Right, yeah.
All
This is
right,
not
so
his thing. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Strike against a lock is just ob 1. Yep. So he's just getting a free hit on you, basically.
Oh, what?
All right.
Dang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
I mean,
how
you're
that
trying to
works.
close in. You're literally giving him a hug, and he's trying to stab you as you give him a hug, right?
I didn't think about that.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
This
Your
is
op
where-
for lock is going to be 2.
This is where I'm supposed to make a pivot joke, right? Right, Jared?
You disgust me.
Yeah, he doesn't have any forks for this. Though I did give him. I
A
had
knife
him
is kind of like a
use-
fork.
I had him use magic. To
They're both
buff
silverware.
himself before the battle. That's what I remember having happen. Yeah, okay. I gave him 2 bonus dice, and now he doesn't
Knife
have
is actually just a long
penalty.
2-pronged fork.
He's going to eat you. He's a cannibal. All right, here we go. Here's his roll. Oh wait, I clicked right on accident. That's not
He's
correct.
wounded though. That's good.
Just
So
keep
And
it.
I somehow didn't give him the advantage dice, even though I just said I did. Okay, whatever. I don't know how that worked.
If you
There you go.
oh no.
That's a 3.
his base exponent is a 6 in knives.
Oh,
Yes, he
so
doesn't
is
have any
good.
forks.
That's
but he
too
is good
lower
at
than my
knives.
brawling skill after an entire campaign.
No,
That's
3 campaigns.
ridiculous.
I have to give you guys challenges. That's what my job is.
Yeah, the challenge is I have to make sure I kill him before he uses his magic.
Well,
Anyway, it's still only a 2 hit, which is super low compared to what I've been doing.
it's not a 2.
It's a mark, probably.
It's a
What's the add
his
on
add is
knife?
1
What?
on a knife. Well, yeah, because
Disgusting.
it's like you stab someone, right? It's
Well,
it's
yeah,
like
but
getting
add is a 2 on a sword, which is
Right,
just
but
a
I
knife,
think
but an
the
extra
idea-
6 feet. Not
the
really.
idea that is like knife is so fast, you're like stabbing them multiple times, you can slit their throat. Like the danger of like being close
Yeah.
quarters with a knife is.
I imagine it's partially that the knife has to have a thing that makes it decent for
exactly.
people that want it.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that makes sense.
So I believe it's a superb hit.
Yeah.
So
Fortunately, his strength probably isn't super great.
yeah, it's not super high. It is a
And
B7
then knife-
wound,
Probably doesn't have good power.
but I think you have a good wound track here. Okay, B7 is serious for you. So you have a couple of options here,
Unfortunate.
Cantarius. You can take the wound. You can just take it and do the bear hug, right? And try to lock him out of combat. The issue is if you don't knock him out this round, you'll have the penalties next round. And so trying to close in with a lock is not going to be as easy. You can spend a persona here because this is a pretty bad wound. You can spend a persona to try to redirect the narrative away from this stabbing you into something else if you'd like.
Sure.
He stabs me.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to at this point because
The
having
other
a serious
option.
win in this game is like go take a hike and come back in another
Yeah.
campaign and then you
So
play
this is
again.
something to point out. One of the rules that we haven't, 2 of the rules that we haven't really been using that are made for this exact scenario is like the kind of grit your teeth stuff, tough as nails, whatnot. You have options available to you to mitigate these wound dice for as long as you keep playing in the middle of things, right? So you can spend Persona to
Yeah,
mitigate
but-
1 wound die penalty. You can always make a health test to try to you can make an OB4 health test for free. There's nothing bad that happens if you fail the health test to mitigate a wound penalty for a scene, or a wound die for a scene.
Yeah, but my health is a 3.
Again, totally fine.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you knew the options.
Yeah.
But before we, I guess here's a question, David. How would you do this? Spending Persona right now to redirect the narrative. Kentarius is going to get a lock on in theory. Do we play that out first and then roll?
Probably ought to
figure out what the
resolve
narrative is?
what's happening here. Maybe can he just hit me instead, and then I'll make an armor roll, and I'll be fine.
Well, I was imagining my thought would be a failure here would be let's do the lock first. I just want to see how that goes off,
Sure.
and then we can
Okay.
evaluate the state of what's
Get some
happening
context.
and figure,
So
have some context.
I
Unless you don't want to do that.
Well, my thought is, wasn't there a rule about like changing cards?
You can sacrifice later actions to change this one, I think, or something. I'm not sure exactly how it works. but-
Do you want me to look that up? You want to change your
Well, I
action
was
right now?
thinking if I changed my if it changed from lock to block, right? I can
maybe
protect myself against this.
I'll double check. Let's see.
yeah,
I mean,
and
all I'm doing
actually-
is changing one letter, lock to block.
And if, depending on how it works, you could actually do that. And then I don't know what your second script is, but if it was lock, then you could block him and then still lock him. But I don't know if you can change 2, because I think you have to lose cards to do it.
Yeah, I think you have to give up an action to change an action.
I can
so-
change my third volley action, can't I? Can I give up my
that's
third
what I'm
volley
wondering.
action?
I don't know what you can change and what you have to replace. So let me find that. Yeah, changing action. Can it change upcoming actions in the exchange? First rule, you cannot change an announced action. That is, as soon as anyone has announced any action, no one can change any of their scripted actions for that volley. Once the
Oh,
GM
so
is
it's
called
totally
for the volley.
pointless, and there's no reason to ever use it. So that's good.
Well, I think
Why would you
the
ever
idea
do
the idea would be if Kantarius we've resolved this and then Kantarius is oh, I'm gonna get stabbed.
Oh,
or
I guess.
Right, I have been stabbed, I need to change what I'm doing or something.
Yeah.
Right, then you can change what's next. But because I guess this makes sense. The idea is that you're already in the middle of doing it. You can't easily pivot from that.
Sure. Well, you can't
To
easily
change-
pivot from it. No, but
To change an action, you must forfeit an action. Actions must be forfeited or changed in any unannounced volley in the exchange. So so basically, if you wanted to change your next action, Connor, which is a free action that you're getting against him, right? Technically, because he doesn't have an action he's scripting against it.
yeah,
Then you would
wouldn't
have to
be-
give up your
Um,
third one. So that's a possibility.
So
depending on
wait,
what
so
you
I'm
what do you
sorry,
think?
what? So I can give up my third volley to change this lock to a
change
block,
this-
or no?
that second
He's
one.
saying you could give up your free one, which is unopposed as it is, to change this one to block.
No, that's
Right.
not what I'm saying at all.
Uh,
Again, he's announced the lock. We can't change that. What you could do,
Right, sorry, yeah.
what you could do is you could give up your last one here, to change this one, or vice versa. Right? Those are the two
Yeah,
unannounced ones.
There's no reason to do that though.
I'm just saying, I don't know what you have scripted here, but if you had a good option here and you were gonna take him out for sure, then you could change that or whatever, right? Because you have
I
that's
suppose
free.
the one reason I would see why this would be useful is now once someone sets their cards down, you know how many actions they have in a volley.
Mhm.
So if
Sure,
you have 2
yeah.
and they have 1, then you might go back and change your second to a strike when you know they can't block you.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
That
That's
might
if-
be useful.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
just being smart about it. Yeah.
Okay, so
What are you thinking? I think the decision we have to make here is, does the lock go off, or would you rather spend the Persona point now and redirect the narrative entirely? My thought would be, if you wanted to spend it now, we could have it be you break free from you decide last second not to go for the lock, right? And you back up from him, but we would have him also back up, and now he's an optimal length to do his magic or something. Right, he's gotten maybe he's gotten behind a couple of guards, normal level soldiers, and now he's going to do some magic on you, and you have to figure that out. That could be one Persona thing. Right, he actually managed to.
What is this magic on you? A pole comes out of the sky and his tearaway pants come off and starts doing some magic mic work. And
No.
The wrong kind of magic, David. Wrong
Is there
magic.
any other kind? Come on.
Wrong magic system.
Yeah, do you
wanna
have
play that
any
magic
other
system
ideas?
now.
It is up.
Well,
it is up to you, Connor.
Well, yeah.
You get to
I mean,
choose.
is that or gets shanked repeatedly?
Yeah.
Well,
So-
yeah. So that's yep.
No, but
So
what I'm
trying
saying,
to figure out-
that was a suggestion for me as the GM. What I'm saying is you have control over this. As long as you have
Oh,
a
I could
suggestion,
decide something different.
you get to decide what the fire is after you jump out of the fire.
I think I'd rather be taken up to the demon plane and fight a demon. I think Faustus should come for me, and we should just fight in the demon realm.
Isn't he demon possessed? You pop up there and you're like, oh, hi.
I mean, I like, okay, let's put it this way. If Faustus showed up right now, he would just shoot you while you're fighting this guy, right? From a distance. Like that. That's
Yeah,
not
your
be
body
smart for him at all.
stays is the problem. Remember?
Yeah, that's also part of it.
So Faustus shows up, and we go to the demon plane.
Yeah, but remember, Connor, that your body stays, so you still get shanked repeatedly. Except I can't do anything about it.
Oh, right.
Here's a twist on that. What do we think of this? This guy gets shot with an arrow that was meant for you from Faustus, and now Faustus has a bow and is reloading to shoot you again.
That sounds way worse.
Again, that is supposed to be bad.
Yeah, I don't know, Connor. Give the guy a position that you can just undo immediately later. I don't.
That's not how this works exactly, but
Well,
Yeah, you can just script a Viper position action and get close.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, one of these is just going to delay your death by one round, and the other is probably something you can deal with.
Yeah, I think.
Although it would be nice to kill Faustus.
I mean, how did this even happen? I have a 10 and
I
such.
tried
to grab
How
a
did
guy
I even
with a
get in
knife.
this situation?
I don't really prefer the option where Faustus shows up randomly in the middle of this battle. I would rather have that be like a big climactic thing with all of you or whatever.
Well, I'm actually kind of worried that it won't ever happen because I'm worried that Theo's going to come back to life before I see Faustus. So that's kind of why that's a tempting option for me. But we'll go. We'll go with he backs up and.
I mean, to be fair, like I don't even think that Theo coming back to, like as much as Alphonse just said, I'm going to come back on a chariot. I don't really think that's going to happen for either of them.
Theo's comes in.
Theo's going to resurrect in an alley somewhere, and no one's going to know he's alive until he finds you guys, right?
everyone's like hunched over, and I walk up. What are we looking at? Oh, we're just looking for Theo's dead body. No, we're just looking for Wait.
but technically, yeah, Connor. Like if we go with the like he backs up option. Technically you could just run at that point, but then you would be leaving Dylan to fight him too, right?
Well, yeah, I can't do that. But so my thought is I could get rid of this last volley card.
Mm-hmm.
Change this to like intellectual discipline burn, and then just burn his head off and just move on.
But again, you're at. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. If you change the range on that, I don't think I think the action, it'll take too many actions is the problem. Like you could start it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Again, you could start it, but any other ideas from the crowd?
I mean, we've been honest. Just let the guy have his optimal range for magic. That's my call.
Yeah,
my opinion. I mean,
yeah, we'll do that. I already spent the persona.
Okay, cool. That makes sense to me, and I think the complication here where it won't just lead back into Cantarius closes again is that you have to fight some regular soldiers first, right? They're like in his way. They're in between you and him now. So again, these would be pretty easy to take out, but he'll have like maybe some volleys here to get off a spell. So, are you going to forfeit it? Are you going to change any actions?
That's the problem. I don't even remember what this is. Let me take it and look at it.
Because I think technically the way this works basically is you're still technically engaged with him. Right. So you could attempt to attack him. You could let your actions go off normally. It's just that you're at like big ob penalty to do so.
You can still give him the STD.
But now there's also two like guards or whatever, two soldiers who are also engaged with you.
What's the odd penalty? So okay, so he's at long range, right? Is that the?
Yeah, it's longest, I think, but yeah.
Oh, longest. It's ridiculous.
So like a spear, basically.
A spear length away.
Basic.
It's like
That's
a pike, right?
yeah.
like a
That's
long
basically.
spear.
Sure.
So
okay.
he's not missile length away.
Well, either way, I'll reveal this. It's strike. So
cool.
Oh, I just took it. Whoops. I had to flip it.
Yeah, so that works fine. Let me do
so
you're
the odd
not-
penalty for striking him would be -2.
It is.
Well, you still have your stick, right? You decided not to drop it, I assume. Since
Yeah.
You're not. So you're only down by one category, right? Go along the longest.
Where's positioning disadvantage?
It might be at the beginning where you.
Oh yeah, there you go. I was just seeing advantage or how many dice you get in response. Which I guess I didn't think
It
of
might be a
before,
chart,
but
actually.
there's 2 different charts. Yeah, I just couldn't find one of them.
Of course. There is.
Yeah, so it's only a +1 ob for you.
Yeah, so
It's not too bad.
I'll just do that then.
Cool.
Just give him a good old whack.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Okay, I see. Yeah, so basically you're forfeiting your lock action. Kind of, because of that persona complication. And instead we just go to the next thing.
And increase the distance.
Yeah, increase the distance, and now there's other guys that you're gonna have to deal with as well. Let me double check one real quick what multiple targets mean, because I think they could probably help him with this.
Yeah, they give
well,
helping
like
dice,
the
but I
defense
think
roll or
that
something.
I guess
Yeah,
that maybe
that's it.
doesn't matter.
There isn't a defense roll yet.
There isn't, yeah.
Which is one of the strange things about multiple people fighting. You basically can't protect people because they could just kind of ignore you.
As long as you guys are fine with it, I'm fine with them appearing here has kind of been a what's it called? A persona complication thing and not like a strict fight thing.
Yeah.
Are you fine with me just giving you an additional +2 ob for both of them getting in your way?
Yeah, whatever. I should still be able to kill him.
Yeah, you should still be able to.
Oh no, I forgot. He has stupid armor. He has superb leather armor after.
He doesn't have superb leather armor. He just has regular.
Yeah, that's what you said. No, you said he has superb.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
You rolled with a
Superb doesn't make it better; it just makes it so it degrades slower.
It degrades slower.
Right. Yeah. Oh, reinforced leather. Is that what?
Yeah, that's just how it's labeled
type
in the
of
book.
armor.
Oh, I thought it was like
It's just better than Gamma.
the upgraded. Oh, okay, so it still is. Anyway.
Yep. I'm just double checking the fighting multiple opponents thing. So, okay, when 3 fighters are facing off against an opponent, they gain certain advantages. With 3 fighters facing off against one, the lone fighter suffers a -1 die penalty to advantage from weapon length or from vying for position. Oh, yeah, I see. So if you get any advantage for weapon length, it goes down by -1 die. You don't have that, though. The third opponent reduces his own disadvantage by 1 step. If he would normally suffer a +2 ob penalty due to relative weapon lengths okay, so that doesn't matter because they have like swords, probably. So that's the only thing. So yeah, the 3-on-1 will not matter for this. Basically, the idea is that they're just going to be scripting actions next in the next volley. I think for now in this exchange, they're just getting in your way, and so you're just getting a penalty. But then they'll script actions next time. Okay.
Well, they won't both script actions, right? It's a 1v1 thing. The other guy just helps the other guy.
It could be. Again, they could also script actions separately if they really wanted to. It would depend on how we want to do it.
How would that work? I don't think that's how that works.
They would
1v1, isn't it?
Well,
otherwise,
so
one guy
again,
just scripts actions and just gets free rolls on you.
Yes. So if we could do it 2 different ways. It suggests if it's like a horde of mooks, you have them all add dice together, right? Which we could do. That totally makes sense. We could also have it be they all 3 of his enemies script actions against him, and then Kentarius has to choose which person he's scripting actions against. That sounds super dangerous.
Death, right?
That's insane.
No, exactly.
Dude,
Yes.
die.
Yes, I agree. I'm just saying technically that is in the rules. You could do that. I'm fine with just them giving dice to him, though. That makes sense to me.
That's the most
silly.
polar extreme of those two
the thing
options.
is, I would like in the if we did the fight with Constantino in the fight rules, I would have let you guys do that, right? That would have been all 3 of you ganging up on him, being able to script actions against him, and he could only script against one of you. That's how
made it.
Yeah, but that just
trivial.
doesn't make sense. Yeah,
I
I don't know.
trivialize
It doesn't
that
matter.
fight.
We can.
Basically, the way that works is just like, well, if you can somehow like pin a guy down with 3 of you, then it's you're gonna die, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But again, it suggests for mooks and stuff to just add dice, which I think will
right.
Okay, but yeah, you get that free strike against him, Kantari. So go ahead. It'll just be
I don't think
3.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I can really.
Or I guess ob 4 total because it's ob 1 standard normally, but plus.
Although I should be able to fork an anatomy, right, of knowing where to strike him. Still.
Yep, you can fork an anatomy. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, total ob 4.
That's it. Total ob 4, so I should put in base ob 4.
Yeah, base ob 4 because it's base ob 1
base
plus
1.
3.
Okay.
Yeah, for the distance and the guys.
So still 2.
Cool. Yeah, still 2. What's your add on your staff?
Yeah, it's probably 2.
I think it is.
I don't know the answer to that.
2. Yep. So you get a mark. So you do a B6 on him.
What's
on his torso.
What's the strength of his stick?
What does he already have?
What's the strength of his stick? The power. Yeah. I have it in here already. Like it calculates its forest. It's a 6.
Bummer. Okay.
So again, I don't think you know necessarily what his track is.
Maybe you should
I could. I'm gonna.
Actually, I think you got a 6. Oh, it looks like you got a 6 on him last time. It was a light wound, so you would know that at this point. So you do another minus die if you just go straight through.
I'm gonna. Or wait, hold up.
You want to spend Artha?
Yeah, I'm spending Artha.
Yeah.
No way.
You could change it to his arm again if you'd like.
What is that?
You did last time. It's just like that would be the spot that you're. Yeah, it's less armor dice, easier to get through than the torso. Like the torso is the most protected area, and then if you happen to like actually do wounds on his arm, right? Like that's his arm getting hurt, so we could describe like he can't use a weapon in that arm or whatever, right?
Oh, I'm stupid. I should have spent a persona in brawling, like at the beginning of this session, so that I could Aristea brawling.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
You're like 1 persona away from that.
Yeah, but now I feel like I'm wasting it.
Right. It's fine. Save it for Faustus. You know.
Yeah, but I wasn't planning on killing Faustus with my hands. I was planning on doing it with my brain by just spending a deeds point into intellectual discipline.
I'm positive you'll be able to fight someone else before the end of the game. So that would have been cool though. Are you just gonna? Are you gonna use that 1 success to go to the arm then?
Yeah. If that's better,
it is more. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just looking at stats and stuff.
You don't have. This guy doesn't have any. Sorry, your weapon doesn't have any versus armor, so that doesn't matter. It's just a staff. Okay. Yeah. So he got the 1 success he needed. And no
he didn't roll a 1, so his armor doesn't even degrade.
Yep.
Yeah. GG boys.
So let's go down. Delin, you are. Actually, do you want to describe this for us, Cantarius? Like, you obviously like he starts to come in with a knife. You like back off really quickly so you don't get in range of his knife, or what?
You talking about describing that whole
the
whole exchange? Yeah. He comes up with a knife and I see it and then back up, and then 2 mooks get in the way and he gets on a hill of bodies or something.
Yeah, slight. There's probably you're fighting in the street, so maybe he even like steps up on like the fountain or something in there in the courtyard.
Yeah, and then I try and get up to strike him, and I like have to like stick my staff in between 2 people, and so it just hits the armor, and I'm like,
yeah,
well,
and then the dude's
like a
kind of
monkey
like push
trying
you
to get
back.
a banana out of a cage.
Yeah.
And then the soldiers kind of the soldiers. Hi Kai. The soldiers push you back.
Yeah.
All right. So then so Delin, you're continuing to pray, and then I think your prayer goes off, right? It's two volleys, I think, to get a prayer.
Yeah, I assume it goes off at the end of the first volley, right? Because I'm doing it while I'm doing the first thing, and then it affects the next thing, right?
Good question.
Never done this before.
I know it takes 2 actions to do. I know that's true.
Right. I can just do it during actions. So
exactly.
Wait, can I have done it during my second, like back here? If it's 2 actions.
Oh yeah. Of course, yeah. So it goes off.
Oh.
Yeah, it goes off now. Then
Disgusting. Okay.
yeah, that
I
makes
gotta
sense.
roll it, right? How does that?
Yeah, you're just deciding now what you would do with that.
So he's doing like a guide my sword. It's funny because I'm looking at the guy and talking, but I'm not talking to him.
Right.
Uh,
I'm the servant of the secret fire.
yeah. Maybe he's saying something and I'm just ignoring him. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Does it work any differently than a normal faith roll?
That's what I'm double checking right now. If I can somehow find the rules. I think it's like right at the end. From what I remember from because I listened to the last episode, it was basically just you can do it during other actions,
Right.
and when it goes off.
Like for my obs, am I just doing a faith roll?
I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's another thing.
What was the one that? What are the options? Sorry. I think I always do the one that's ob 3, but I think
the most relevant would be ob 2 for open ending, ob 3 for giving yourself 1 die, and ob 4 for the possibility of more than 1 if you get higher than that.
Okay, and that's all decreased by 1, right? Or was that with the decrease?
No, that was with the decrease. I'm just used to giving you guys the decreased obstacle at this point.
Right. Okay. How does the 4 difficulty one go? Like if I get 4, do I get the dice still?
Yeah, if you get 4, you get 1 die. Yep.
All right. Yeah, why not?
Go for the high one.
Oh, I gave myself 4 advantage dice instead of 4 odd. That's not how that works. If only. Oh, thank goodness.
There you go.
I got 1.
You can spend 1 fate point to try to get another success there.
I don't know if I have very many.
Yeah, it depends on how. Yeah, Dellen historically has not had many fate points, but he might now. I don't know.
I have 6.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but we're consistently fighting gods and demons every session. I don't know why not.
Could make the difference.
Yeah.
Nope. All right. Never mind. Classic David, roll it a 1.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yep, so you do get 1 die on what you do next, though. Great strike. Yeah, get that great strike off. Okay, so he is going to...
Great STD.
Block. So it will be a great strike against block, but...
Okay.
We'll go ahead and see if that goes off. I believe he has a light wound, too, so he has minuses to this. Great strike. What is the actual benefit of great strike again?
I think it increases the versus armor, but I don't know by how much.
It
better be a ladder. This was.
I think you might have multiple options. Yeah, here we go.
Probably.
Choose before you roll. Which is now you didn't roll yet,
right?
so that's
fine.
It bypasses the block action. Oh, but not shields. Okay, yeah. So if he was trying to do a block with his sword, which he's not doing, then you would bypass it entirely. But because you just like batter down the sword.
Right,
but he does have a shield, so his block will go off. Normally. It grants a bonus to damage or armor penetration. Okay, so you +1 to your incidental mark and superb damage results, or +1 to your weapons versus armor rating. Your choice.
Oh, it's only +1. Oof. Yeah, I guess I'll do +1 armor rating. Hopefully
that's going to be the more optimal.
Yeah, I was hoping it'd be better than that.
It does say ob 1 versus block. Maybe that does make sense. It just saying, but not.
That would be it,
shields.
bypassing it.
I think so.
Does a shield do something else? Does it give you bonus dice?
I think so.
But it's not an ob, so that doesn't.
Yeah, I think the way this is worded is just like it would just do standard ob 1, but it otherwise, because it's just a block with a shield. It's just a block.
Okay. But then what does he roll? Because he's not using his sword. What skill do you roll for that? You can't roll shield training.
Block tests your weapon, brawling, or boxing skill plus shield or offhand weapon dice. And then it deflects and redirects the incoming attack. Like avoid, your successes reduce the effectiveness of the opposed action. Yeah, it's pretty simple.
So he is blocking with his.
I will roll that first.
It doesn't matter, I guess.
Yeah, it's just kind of like his ability to get in position with his fighting skills and stuff, and then the shield's giving him some dice, I guess. So I think the shield just gives him 1 die. I don't think he is. Right? Is that how that works? What does the shield have?
I've never used a shield.
Oh, that's the Channeler's character sheet. That's the wrong one. Jia Jifeng. Oh, he has a great shield. Okay, yeah, so that's 4 dice. Nice.
That doesn't slow him down at all.
It does. He has so many penalties to so many things. I don't think they've come up though.
It doesn't slow his reflexes. No, I guess it wouldn't.
It doesn't show. He already has slow reflexes now because you've hit him once, but
well, that's true. Yeah.
He does not get any additional. It's like he can't see very well with the helmet on right now. He has, if he tries to recover in the armor, it'll be bad for him. He's not good at agility or throwing or shooting. If he tries to climb something or be stealthy, it's going to be painful.
Sure.
He does have a -1 to speed positioning stuff though. So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah. So if he was trying to avoid, that would be a bad idea for him.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I guess I
Right.
hadn't considered that.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and roll that. He's going to do his sword. He gets 1 from brawling, and then 4 from his shield.
He gets 4 from his shield.
Yeah, it just adds your shield dice
Oh
to the
my
block.
gosh, that's insane.
I'll go throw an Artha in here.
I guess
One
I need
die.
to get a shield.
Okay, 5.
It's actually no reason for me not to have a shield because a longsword, you can use it in one hand. It doesn't,
yeah.
literally doesn't do anything to have it in 2 hands for some reason. Although, maybe it does. I feel like it
might.
doesn't matter. I don't actually care enough to look it up.
Yeah, so your ob is 5.
Okay, I got 13 somehow. That was a crazy good roll. Holy cow.
Whoa.
If only I could spend any of those to increase the versus armor, like in the magic, then I might actually have a chance of hurting him here.
Oh, I think you might not be able to do Great Strike without. Let's see. One-handed weapons can use the Great Strike action, provided the wielder can put both hands on his weapon for this action. Thus, you can't be using your offhand for anything or be restrained or whatever in that volley. So yeah, if you had a shield, you cannot do Great Strike.
Interesting.
One-handed weapons can also gain a +1 die to the beat action if you have a free offhand in that volley. Thus, you cannot use another weapon, use your hand for push, lock, or charge, or be restrained.
I see. Okay.
Two-handed weapons can always Great Strike and always get +1 die to the beat action. So that's the difference. So it makes sense. You would not be able to get off this Great Strike with a shield. So
Wait, so both kinds get +1 die to beat? Doesn't that kind of mean they should just whatever? That's weird. Okay.
I'm not sure about that rule, but the important thing is the Great Strike.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, 13 is great. Like you certainly do everything you need to do there.
A Great Strike him in the head. Let's see how this goes.
Great Strike him in the head. All right, sounds good. Now I roll armor dice.
Up 2. Right.
You have VA.
Yeah, that's what the Great Strike is for.
Oh, right, but what's your VA total then?
Sorry. Yeah, no, I think I have a regular sword, right?
You do have a regular. It should be in your character sheet.
The special sword has VA. The regular sword doesn't.
Okay, so just a 1 VA then for this roll.
Right, which means op 2, right? So that works.
You put it in when I roll the thing. It just literally says weapons versus armor. Give it to me.
Oh, and it just makes the
Yeah.
Interesting.
It increases the ob. I think it's always ob 1. But then
so then it would be
increases
op 2.
Yeah, it's yeah.
How many armor does he have on his head?
He failed.
He had 6 armor on his head.
Yeah, it's a great helm. It's literally the highest helm. Cool.
That's more than my plate armor has on my chest. I don't understand.
You do 1 damage to the helm,
Thank
and
goodness.
then
that cuts
get
it off.
Yeah. What is the wound?
Jeez. Do I still have my strength at 10 for the? Oh gosh, there's so many things. No, it's only 5. Hold on, give me a second. It's at longsword 19. Wait, that actually seems low. Because there's not 19 boxes, right? So it is gray. At 19. Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
grade 3.
Grade 3. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I think I will spend his last persona to redirect the narrative away from his certain death.
Okay.
How about
NPCs?
I didn't know NPCs could do that. Are you sure that they can?
It doesn't say that they can't.
That seems
technically this persona rule is an optional rule to begin with, but we've always played with it, and I always assume that there's no reason that the NPCs wouldn't have the ability to use these as well.
Sure, except that
well,
we want to
except
keep
that
playing with
it's
these
lame.
characters. We don't want them to.
Yeah,
Yes, again, they don't
it's
have
there for us, so their campaign doesn't.
it's like when what's his face rewound time for that whole round. It's like
yeah, that was
what?
awesome.
No, that's lame. That took the no. It's because it's cool when the player characters do it because it's narratively fun, but not when the NPCs do it. It's like, wait, what?
Is that something that literally all of you are like very against? I feel like it makes sense.
I'm very against it, but
it's up to you. I guess it doesn't really bother me that much.
Because
I do this again, but
technically it would be up to me to come up with a frying pan into the fire situation. You guys can reject the frying pan into the fire situation if you don't feel like it's bad enough, right?
sure.
My suggestion would be like you just completely cleave his helmet off, right? Like it's just completely destroyed. Now his head is exposed. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Right, because all you need to do is get one more
I
good
just have to
on
hit him again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Instead of dying from the head,
I mean, we've done similar things, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
just spent it
suppose.
to not get stabbed, and then said you got idea range.
yeah, but I'm
right?
a player
Like,
yeah.
character.
Alphonse got his sword chopped in half by a god.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about establishing this as a thing where, like, when we go to fight Faustus, we have to kill him 9 times because he has.
I
so
wouldn't
much-
do it like
you know what I
that.
mean?
So the key with the persona point complication stuff is that you can't use it. It's let it ride, right? Like if you are in a fight and you use it once, you can't use it again, even if you get stabbed again. Like the worst situation has happened, right? You can't just keep spending it over and over and over again to not die.
Okay, I guess I didn't know that was part of the.
I mean, I'm assuming, like, because the idea is that you're going from the frying pan into the fire. You can't just spend it and then get out of the fire and into a worse fight. You can't. It won't go on forever, right? You have to deal with the situation you found yourself in and get out of it without Artha, without spending a persona in the same way.
Right. I guess getting out of it.
So as long as we have established you are now in a different situation than the one that led you from the persona point spent. Right.
Right,
So what I'm saying is,
I don't
like,
know. I mean, my thought for him using this is that he's out of the situation entirely, right? Like David thinks he's dead and he falls over and isn't dead.
I'm not
but
interested.
Bodies
Like,
cover him.
I want the fight to keep
That's
going
usually
for
how
one
it
more
goes,
volley.
right?
No, that's not typically.
Well,
how it
we've
goes.
never. I don't know that we've ever had that happen. To us.
That's like spending a fate point or conceding in fate. But that's not what's happening here
Sure.
at all.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm getting confused.
No. Because what's happening is he's just making himself get into another bad situation instead of being stabbed to death, right? So destroying his really cool helmet that would have protected him from probably multiple more attacks is a very bad thing for him. But what I'm saying now is, like, when Dellen gets the shot on his head,
His uncle should show up.
It's the reason I'm not really that concerned about it is because I literally have a strike and my next thing he can't block, and I'll just hit him in the head again.
Oh,
and he'll
sure.
die. So,
yes, I just want the one more beat of like
yeah.
drama, right? That's
Yeah,
really
sure.
why I'm
You
spending
just
this
don't want
to
him to
do.
get one shot. That's fine.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I want it to be a little bit more dramatic than that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the helmet gets cleaved off, and again, just to tie that thread off, in the future, the rule with this, according to how I'm interpreting it, is that you can spend the persona to get out of certain death or whatever, right? You redirect the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You go from the frying pan into the fire. You cannot spend the persona again to get out of that fire, right?
Yeah,
If you
okay.
get into
That's
a
fine.
different frying pan or a different fire after that resolves, then we're back to spending persona.
Sure. Okay. That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah. Okay, so sounds good. So you get that. Do you
I
want to
promise
describe
not
this for
to
me,
complain
Dellen?
about it next time.
No, you're good. You're good. Right, like you take a big, great strike down into his head, and it like.
Well, so he
slaps him
he lifts up his shield and his sword, and I think he just hits it so hard that it like clips his helmet and just throws it off. And he kind of like
right.
folds over a little bit, and then like
Yeah. Like stumbles over, grab, like maybe places his hand against the fountain, and then like tries to study himself for whatever you're gonna do next. But then you get another strike in.
push the advantage here.
Yep. And then I think this is just against Al1. I can't think of anything else that would be happening here. So get that free hit. Getting this, like, the reason this is happening is because you got that strike on him in the first place in that bloody verses we did at the beginning. Because the light wound reduced his reflexes. He would have had another action here, but he does not now.
Right. Of course, he could have scripted it at the end. I don't know why he would have done that, but he could.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I've won. I can't wait to fail this roll.
There you go.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Low
So
odds
you
and high dice pools scare me. 'Cause I fail them way more than
I know. Yeah. So right. There's no way you get full hit against his head because you can change the location, and so you just chop his head off at that point.
Yeah. So I push in and like I basically just do the same motion, I think, and this time he doesn't have a helmet to protect him.
Yeah.
Obviously, I
Help
don't. 'Cause
me!
It's not a great strike, but
Yeah, and he can't even get his shield up.
Yeah.
Right. He can't even get his shield
Help
up. So you
me!
just like chop off his head, and it like flops into the fountain. Right.
yeah. And then I turn on the wizard guy.
Hello, help me.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and go back up to the top here. Actually, let's.
But
let's
first, take this guy's helmet and his shield.
I suppose you could do that
I
in the
destroyed
next
his
action.
helmet, I guess.
Yeah, you'd have to replace that action, I assume.
But I'm
You wouldn't be able to do this last.
Right.
action.
That's actually what I'm going to look up now. Is like what happens when you have to like re-engage? Does it just cost an action? Which I think that's what it is.
yeah, vie for position is a thing, but I could just make my action against a different target, right? I just would be at.
Well, no, because you have to engage with them. I think. I believe engaging is an action. I'm going to double check that real quick, but
Sure.
like imagine it's like in Unicorn Overlord, right? And you have to like move your piece to their piece still, like you're out of combat now.
Well, right, except that unlike in Unicorn Overlord, you are not in another fort across the battlefield. You're
Yeah.
right next to. Literally,
Yeah, the
it's
scale
almost
is
adjacent.
a lot smaller, but
Yeah,
yeah, you still got.
all right. If you're part of an ongoing fight and you're unengaged, you can attempt to engage with another combatant at the start of the exchange rather than vying for position or disengaging. In that case, use the rule for engaging.
So if I had killed him in the very first strike, I would just be standing there on my thumb for the entire.
I don't think so.
round.
That's what I'm wondering about because I think
I mean,
it's
you
just
can
saying
change actions. I could,
Yeah, I think
could sacrifice
I
an action for engage. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm
in
curious
this
about the
case,
way
I
this
think-
is worded here. I feel like there's some reason that you would do this instead of just engaging again.
I mean,
but I'm
the engage
sticking
action to
to
me, like in canon, is going to be that those characters like lock eyes and they both throw down a gauntlet. like I'm
Right.
engaging you. I can't sneak
Yeah.
attack. I must let you know.
But it actually just determines whether or not you have a good distance to stab them from.
Yeah.
But divine position is an action, so I think presumably in the middle of a round, I could just give up one of my actions to divine position instead,
Yes,
and then.
that,
But
but
I
I
can't
think
now because I only have one action left.
exactly. I think that's what it's saying. Is basically so in this case, it makes sense for Dylan to just basically wait until the start of the exchange and then go again.
In that case, I'm going to grab his shield since I'm.
That makes
open.
sense. Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm fine with that.
4 extra dice is disgusting, and I want them.
That's not that big of a deal. So, what was your next action?
I don't remember. It was a block because I didn't
Well, there
know
you
if
go.
great strikes, both strikes counted as a strike or not, because you can only attack 3 times in a row with the sword. And I didn't know if great strike counted, and I didn't want to ask. So
Mhm.
I just,
Yeah,
it's like, I'll block.
That makes sense to me. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't be able to take a moment to just grab the shield and
Cool.
put it on yourself.
I block with the shield that I pick up.
Well, I
Like,
guess.
yes.
Here would be the question. I guess like is
Yeah.
you might have to untie it from his arm, right?
It depends on how he's holding it. A lot of them just, you put your arm through it and hold it.
How about we say this, Dylan? I'll let you do this as long as your first action in the next volley is like putting on the shield. So you'll be like strapping on the shield as you close with him, as you like vie for position.
Oh,
that okay?
Well, if I have to vie for position anyways, that's my first action, right?
Well, no. What I'm saying is, like, if you go to the end of the exchange and go to a new one, there's like this kind of sub turn at the beginning that everyone does exchange stuff, like vying for
Oh, so you're saying I'll have to
position.
use an action to vie?
I'm
instead
saying
of
your
doing it
first
for free?
actual action is just putting on the shield, because I feel like it would take at least 2 actions to like take the shield off of him and then strap it to your arm properly.
Sure. In that case, I'll just wait because
Okay.
I don't know that I'll need it that much, and I think
Like
time
if
is probably
this was like a
You won't need
buckler.
it.
If this was a buckler, I would be
Right,
like,
yeah.
yeah, this is fine. But it's like literally the
It's a
highest level
tower
shield you
shield,
can
yeah.
get. It's like a tower shield. Yeah. And it like needs to
Yeah.
be like strapped properly to your arm and stuff. So
Sure.
I wish I would have known that this guy had armor. I feel like I should have been able to figure out that this guy had
Yeah,
armor.
This
I
is
think
a
I-
battle.
Strike then.
He sailed here on a ship with the intention of invading. I'm surprised he's not wearing something metal. You're probably lucky he's wearing leather.
Well, then he had arcane spell failure chance.
Yeah.
No, that's not how
Yeah.
it works.
His lightning strike might ground to himself and kill him. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, I think he's just giving up his action because because he went into spell range, so he wouldn't be striking a knife at this point. I think he's giving up his action and just like starting to prepare a spell. But yeah, you get a strike on him, Connor.
But mechanically, he can't really do anything mechanically.
Yeah,
with
it's
that,
again
right?
here it gets ob 1 or ob 3, I guess.
No, but I mean,
But
like he doesn't get a
he's not
turn of
actually
charging
channeling.
because
Yeah.
he's not actually
No.
channeling yet.
He's
He
not
doesn't
channeling yet.
actually-
He's
Okay,
he's
gotcha.
hesitating
Getting
before
ready
he can
to
channel.
Yeah.
It's the same thing ob 4 as last time because he's still the position is still bad for you and there's still
Sure.
2 soldiers.
Dang.
I mean, eventually his armor has to fail, right?
But it won't though. This just won't. That's just the way it
He
goes.
just needs to get less than
Yeah, it's-
Ooh, that was close.
Is it better all?
Yeah.
I'll spend 2 fate again. I have enough.
Sure.
What the heck?
Whoa!
Nice.
You
All
got
right,
2
all right.
6s in there.
That's the
Nice,
first
Connor.
time. That's the first time I've ever done that in my
Yeah.
entire life.
I'm pretty sure that means you have full hit with on his head if you want to, but I think you. Let's
Wait, what?
see.
Really?
What is it? 9 successes to add. Yeah. You can get. You can. No. Sorry, you can get it on his arm.
To arm, yeah.
At
superb on his arm.
the superb on his arm. Yeah.
This is 2 to move.
Yeah,
to the head,
I will
right?
do a superb on his arm, so that way when he makes his armor check and succeeds, it doesn't matter at all.
I do think it would be cool if, and I don't know how you could do this because versus armor is very crushing immediately, but like it'd be nice if the quality of hit impacted the armor roll in some way. Versus armor would be too much. Like having
Yeah,
3 versus
I think
armor would
that's
make it
why
impossible.
Great Strike is the only thing that does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that and just done Great Strike.
But I
We can
wish
do it
that
next time,
armor
if you
had
don't have
like, twice as much dice, but then the
Yeah.
quality of your strike increased
Yeah.
your versus armor.
Yeah, that'd be
'Cause-
fun.
Yeah, just because then, I mean, the idea is that the better your strike is, the less the armor matters, right? Which
Mhm.
I think is
Right.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Which we could
I'll go
also
ahead and-
do the house rule spending successes like the thing did. I think we did that once, where it costs 2 to increase the versus armor instead of 1 or something. But
Oh yeah. Well, we can reevaluate that. I think the next time we do a Burning Wheel campaign, I definitely want to sit down with David and see if we can tweak a couple of things with fighting in Burning Wheel and make it more fun for all of us. It could be stuff like that we had. All right, I'm gonna just roll.
and less crushing.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it for. I don't know about you guys, but I'm enjoying this combat. I think this has been a fun one.
Yeah.
Okay, so just
Of
the
course.
one.
I was enjoying it until right now.
He's getting really lucky. He should not have
Uh-huh.
succeeded this many times.
well, I mean,
he's got a 50%
statistically,
chance.
he should get 1.
He
out
should
of
have failed
2.
once, but it's not much of a.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Obviously,
It's not
time-
hard to flip a coin and get heads 3 times.
Yes, but statistically, over the 3 times, one of them, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he had to fail twice in the same roll though, which I think is less statistically likely.
The bad thing for you is that he hasn't gotten a 1 any of these times.
Yeah,
if he had
so
gotten
his
a 1
armor's
any of these
increased,
times, his armor would have been damaged,
Yeah.
but it hasn't happened yet. So again, he's just
Ridiculous.
mainly lucky. Is what's happening here. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead.
Wait, hold up. This is Kantari's ultimate matchup. Someone who's lucky.
Yes, yeah, because you're very unlucky.
Oh,
Cool.
man.
Let's go ahead and script again here. Unless we could cut over to Alphonse and Theo at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd
as
be
you
fine.
guys
it's
script,
been an hour
right?
for us.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
that makes sense to me. So yeah, you guys go ahead and figure out what you're gonna do next. I will.
Real quick, engage is a free thing, right? That we do at the beginning of the round. I don't have. to
Yes,
script
that would
something.
happen at the beginning of the round. Where we'll
making sure.
well, you know what? Let's do that first. Let's do this like the speed tests. Kantarius, you obviously want to get closer to him, and Dylan, you also want to get an optimal range.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and just roll that speed test for all of you to see what that looks like.
Can
Because
we
that'll
get-
probably determine what you want to do.
Can we get advantage to the speed test because we're flanking him, kind of coming behind him? So basically, he has to be in a bad
That-
spot for one of us.
That would be fine, except for the fact that he has the 2 mooks with him, right?
Right, but they're like right next to him, right?
Yeah, but
So
they
it's
could
kind
go
of-
on either side of him, right? It wouldn't take them that.
Well, yeah, but I want to
Like-
go behind him. They're not behind him.
Behind him he's like on top of the fountain. basically. I don't know how you get behind
I
him.
get up on
very
the
easily.
top of the other part of the phone. No, I'm kidding. All right, it doesn't matter.
Right,
I forgot he was on
yeah.
the phone.
Yeah, that's what we described.
What's the ob? Zero.
Yeah, I don't think he gets any advantage here. So
Is it just straight speed? Sorry.
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
He got a 0.
Oh, you scared me. I thought that
And you
was
got
my
a
roll.
3 with a -1 tax. That's wild.
Yeah.
All right,
I pushed
Connor.
enter and I saw your 0 and I was like, what?
Connor, go ahead and just make a speed test.
Oh, sorry, it's not.
Just against Ob 1. Nice. Yeah.
Nice. We zoom in.
Yep, you both managed to close in on him. He's not gonna, and honestly, again, he was planning on channeling, but he hasn't actually scripted any actions for that yet. So he'll just go back to his knife, right? He was hoping he would have more time.
What's the issue with the 2 mooks then? Where are they gonna?
Yeah, I guess that's a good question.
Because if they're also going to be closing in, I think it might be better for Cantarius, the unarmored one, to back up and start channeling then. I'm not sure if
The legendary name, the unarmored
getting
one.
close is the goal for me
you
at
could
that
do
point.
that,
I'm
but
not sure.
The main issue with channeling in fight is that it just takes a long time.
Sure.
I was
Makes a
actually
lot of
just going to look
actions.
that up. Let me double check. I believe it's like actions equal to the ob of the test that you're making. Sorcerer's Fire. Sorcerer's Fire. Where is that?
Fireball.
Destroy with Sorcerer's Fire. Okay, so base ob 4. Yeah, so I think it takes four actions. So I mean, hey, you have a good reflexes. If Dellen doesn't kill him in 2 volleys, you would get it off.
Yeah, but
Probably not worth it. Yeah.
it's probably not worth it. And even if I'll just roll bad and he'll just armor it or something, and then I'll
yeah.
just be
Well,
like,
the
okay.
thing with Destroy the Source for Fire, though, right, is that you can spend successes
Yeah,
1 for
you
1
can increase
to
the
do
versus
VA.
armor for 1
Yeah,
success.
so you could just demolish him if you actually get it off.
Versus fire is disgusting. But that's why it has, I think, a relatively low power naturally.
Yeah.
Because it expects you to be spending points to increase it.
Yeah, but also if I have to spend 4 actions for it, I don't think it's worth it.
But he's also
Probably.
doing it.
No, well, I was just going to
No,
say, once you guys close in, he's not going to script that
Yeah,
action.
I'll
He's
just-
just to do that dagger.
That's if I close in, I assume. I mean, even if I don't, he's probably just gonna try and knife you, because even if I'm just standing there sorcery firing the whole time, he's probably just has to do with you and try knifing you. Except it's not that fast. You can't spam it.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Does he have to use an action to draw a knife?
he already
still
has
had
the
his
knife out.
He already had his knife out. He doesn't have to drop the knife to do channeling. So,
Oh,
it's not D&D magic where you have to do finger stuff. So, right, you don't have to do some. I know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I
Yeah.
couldn't remember that is a
Yeah.
somatic component. I
think
couldn't
so, yeah,
remember.
somatic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Intricate hand gestures. There you go.
What was his reflexes? 4?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, his reflexes is 3 now
Oh, sick.
because of
All
that
right.
wound. Yeah.
That's what I like to
last time.
hear. All right, we're going to play this safe then. I'm not going to get shanked.
All right, cool. I'll let you guys script
go
your
ahead.
actions there, and then. Okay, so Alphonse and Theo, you guys are in the heavenlies. You've just convinced the gods to start helping again. I think we described that Tannis, the god of war, was the one guy who was not on board with this, but he's not making a move now. He's just, going along. He's gonna probably
just stewing in it.
He's stewing in it. He's gonna do something later. I'm trying to remember. There was some climactic line that we ended on last time with you guys. Oh, I think it was.
And Rohan will answer.
Wasn't it? I know that Narani revealed that
she was integrated into everything and it went wrong.
She was integrated in everything. She had basically ruined all of your lives for her own machinations, including getting Cantarius' wife killed and getting Antonius' divorce happen. Right?
And I think the getting Cantarius' wife killed part was new.
It was new, yes. That's actually something that I've been thinking about for a while. I realized how intricate marriage was related to all of your problems in life, and I was like, oh, perfect. Nirani's been behind it all. Right?
Hilarious.
Yeah. But I believe the last thing we got was like her saying it's Alphonse's kid that is the one who needs to use the artifacts to save the world. Right? Like get those into his hand and he will do it.
But I believe Aang can save the world.
And maybe here's one other detail that she like hinted at, but we didn't get explicitly on screen. I'll just say that she also reveals that this, way back when they made the artifacts in the first place and then like hid them in the way that they did around the world, right? Or around this area anyway. It's because of the Garrick Pantheon that did it. Nirani specifically set up a lineage, right? A couple of bloodlines that would have
specifically had to be a double incest baby.
Well, kind of, but that was mainly because of the demigod stuff, right? You didn't have to sleep with your sister to do it, but that I don't know if that was part of Nirani's plan necessarily.
Part of the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah. But basically the idea would be so Cantarius' bloodline, Dellin's bloodline, Dellin and Alphonse's, Theo's and Antonius' bloodline. All four of those bloodlines were instituted from the very beginning and tied to these specific artifacts. And she had been following your lineages ever since then to get you into the right positions for when she needed the artifacts again, she could grab you guys and have you unlock them and find them again, right? So that was also part of her plan. It was like, and that's actually that was part of the original Of Swords and Crowns game that David and I came up with forever ago. We're going to do that D&D campaign that some of this is based on. Was that each of those like player characters are going to be part of like a lineage that like was connected to the artifact and whatnot. Yeah. So that I found a good way to tie that in with Nirani. So anyway, that's what she reveals. The last thing I think the last thing that we thought was going to be a climactic ending was Tanis attacking the god, the main god, but we decided against that. So yeah, he didn't. So instead, I remember. Yeah, the last thing, it was like Theo turning to the gods and saying, like, I must return, right, to life or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, what do you guys do? What do you guys say? I think we do see some of the gods like start to teleport away to deal with problems around the world, right? They're like Atarian is like ordering them, like commanding them, like, okay, now let's go. Like we're gonna deal with all these problems. You go there, you do this thing. But Theo and Alphonse, what is your plan? You're still in heaven. Theo's still dead.
Theo needs to get he needs to get a bod.
I need a bod.
And I've got.
You're gonna do jump on Tanis's back as it goes down. You're like, yeah, down to
You think of like a hot bod, a dad bod,
Magic Mike bod,
just a bod.
I was gonna say any bod will do. Let's be real. Gross. Theo definitely has a hot movie star bod for sure.
Movie star.
Well, he did.
Well, it's all bangers now. It's like it's dead, decaying right now.
That's also true. Theo, like I think we know mechanically that Adam wants to roll faith, and hopefully get an actual test for it to revive himself. But what that looks like is up to you.
Well, I was gonna try and persuade Nirani first.
Sure. Yeah, you can go over to her.
I think he kind of like walks up to her, but he's not like facing her. He kind of like walks up next to her. Hey, it's going.
Yeah, she just looks at you sort of sad.
Do you regret the things that you've done?
Honestly, Theo, I don't think so. And that's part of what makes me sad. Not like I wanted to make all of your lives a living hell, but in the end, it all worked how I wanted it to. She shrugs, like, sorry, that's just the way it is, right?
Do I need to come back?
it certainly would help them face what's coming. Getting the artifacts away from Faustus is going to be one of the most difficult things that any of you have ever done. He is incredibly fortified with his cultists and has abilities and demon magic that hasn't been used for hundreds of years. You will need every advantage, and they will probably need you. I don't claim to have power over life and death, but you've done it before, Theo. And then we get a flashback back to Theo raising Gorath from the dead with faith.
So can she help me, or like she has nothing?
She has faith. Yeah. I do think it makes sense that Theo's the one rolling it, but yeah, she can help you with faith.
Yeah.
Right, like that's the god's power, is like they all have faith, like white shaded faith.
Okay, yeah. I think he just says, "Oh, what was the line?" I think he says something along the lines of, "I don't know if I'll forget what you've done."
I don't expect you to.
But I think a part of me understands. A part of me can forgive you. I understand sometimes. I was going to say, you have to break a few shells to make an omelet. That'd be dumb.
That doesn't sound like a Theo line.
Yeah. Sometimes you do things for a greater cause that you're not proud of. Help me this one time.
I suppose you would know about that, wouldn't you, Theo?
And then he says, help me this one time.
I've helped you before, Theo. And I will help you again. I'm your patron, after all.
No, you're not. Be cocky.
Don't get caught.
I'm going to be your patron pretty soon. Okay, I think sure. Should I do a persuasion roll or a faith roll then?
No, I think faith roll is fine. What is Alphonse doing during this time?
I mean, I think he's just sheepishly waiting to talk to Narani, because that's what he was going to do too.
Yeah. I think, Theo, as you walked over to Narani originally, Fortis, the god of libraries that was like on your side from the beginning, was like quietly cheering you on during that whole thing, like kind of claps you on the arm as you walk by and like says like, we've been waiting for you, right? Like I'm on board, let's do this, right? Sort of thing. And then from Fortis, the god of libraries, that one guy in the corner.
He does it to Alphonse?
No, to you as you walk by. I just realized he would have done that as you walked over to Narani. He like claps you on the arm and says like, we've been waiting for you, right? Like this is meant to happen. Like the great God is with us, sort of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have that exchange with the Narani, and Fortis turns to you, Alphonse, while you're waiting for this for Theo to finish, right? And walks over to you and says, now you're an enigma. I'm not quite sure what I think about you yet. Certainly certainly an example of redemption, but yeah, I think he just leaves it hanging.
Yeah.
So again, looks like a librarian dude, right? He says,
I mean, is that all he says?
Well, no. So if you just say like, yeah, I think he says, we've been waiting for people like you, I've been waiting for people like you since I learned the truth, since I learned about how desperate this world needs heroes. Are you his champion then?
Yes. Most definitely.
He says, I can see you're not sure about that yet. Well, I suppose in time that all will be revealed.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I
No, it's fine if you don't have a lot to say to this guy. Like, it makes sense that you'd be just like, why are you talking to me? I'm trying to remember. There was something that, yeah. Okay. So he says, I recently got a bit of information to the mortal realm, to your brother, I believe, Dellen, through one of my devoted servants. Are you aware? And he kind of leans in. Are you aware of the difficulties happening in Lucerta right now with the war against Shoei? And he kind of like casts like a glance over to Tanis, who's like standing in the corner.
Yeah, that's the one that douche guy started.
Yes,
what's his name?
Tanis.
Yeah.
He's like, I do believe he will need to be dealt with before all of this is over, but it seems like he's going along for now.
Yeah. How do I kill him if I need to? Just
Yeah. You know what I think he says? I think he says, he looks down at like your broken sword, like, and I think he says, well, I suppose you'll need a weapon, won't you?
Weapon of the gods.
And I'm kind of interested in this. Let me posit something to you, Jared. What if Fortis takes your broken sword and says it must be remade, right? And like brings it to another god who has like, the ability to forge things and makes like a gray shade weapon?
That is, I was literally just about to like guilt Narani into doing something like that. So if Fortis wants to do it, I am okay with that.
Fortis is like totally on board with everything that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And
Jared
like
just gets a gray shaded weapon without a roll. What?
No. He'll like, there's going to be a process here. But what I'm interested in is the idea that like, because we've talked about like the idea, like, because this is the thing. This sword originally was given by Dellen to Alphonse. I would be really interested in the idea that like Alphonse gets a gray shade weapon and then gives it back to Dellen at like an appropriately dramatic moment.
That makes sense.
So that could be a really cool reversal of that thing that happened in season
full
2.
circle.
Right? Yeah. Are you down with that direction?
I returned it with.
Oh yeah,
with
I was literally just about to do
effectiveness.
something similar to that.
I took your 10 talents and look, I have 20.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I took the talents you gave me and I doubled it.
That's amazing. Debt repaid. I'm interested in that, and like we can literally just say that Fortis like takes the sword and we'll give it back to you at an appropriately dramatic moment, right?
Okay.
If you're done with that. Like, I mean, Alphonse has gotten the gods on his side at this point, so like I don't think he needs to make a roll for this to happen, right?
He hands it to Dellen. And he's like, it's gray shade, and he tries to grab it, and he's like, you can let go now, Alphonse.
Yeah.
He's like reluctant to give it to him.
Yeah. So I think he takes the shards of Narsil and goes off to like He says, Demarius, I have a project for you.
Dude, for sure, we're gonna make Dellen king.
That's not what Dellen wants. But hey, that means if I take it, I get a deeds point, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, like you become king even though you don't want to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down with that. I gotta find another way to get a deeds point so I can have a white sword. I don't care if I ever get to roll it.
It's gonna be like a Dune moment where you're like, I have to do this even though I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just kind of like go all in on it.
Oh wait,
okay,
no,
cool.
right? We did come up with a deeds idea, but yeah.
We did, yes. I can see both happening. We'll see.
True. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, Theo, do we make here's the question. Do we make the roll first for Theo, or do we have Alphonse talk to Narani first? What do we think?
I don't really
Let's
even need to
Narani
talk
first.
to her anymore, really.
Can I make
that was what you were gonna talk
roll?
Yeah.
Can I make a meditation roll while I'm doing it?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can make a meditation roll beforehand. I feel like it would be still good to get a conversation, Alphonse, between the two of you.
Okay, sure.
Like,
Also, do you think my meditation's not being learned anymore?
I mean, you got to open the skill. You haven't been. You've been intentionally not opening the skill, so I think you do need to actually.
What do I have to do to open the skill?
You have to make routine tests in it, right? You still need 3 more routine tests.
How do I do a routine test? Well, what's a routine test?
It would be a 4 or lower.
I haven't done any I feel like I've done a few centered ones. I don't think they were that hard though.
I trust that. I feel like we've been paying enough attention to this. I would have marked these if you had gotten more. Like, you've been explicitly going away from doing that for the entire game so far. But yeah, we can easily make I'm thinking maybe an Ob 3 meditation. Actually, no, let's make it Ob 2. I don't think it's going to be super difficult. You're in heaven, right?
And I'm dead, so
Ob 2 meditation test, and I'll give you an advantage die too.
Okay. Do you want me to do that right now?
Yeah, let's do that now. This is what Theo's doing while Alphonse and Narani talk. Because yeah, I think even if like that was the main thing you were going to say to her, Alphonse, I feel like she would even talk to you, right? Because she wants to like apologize. Yeah. Like you guys left on a bad note, so.
She'd have to be the one to make the he was just planning on like. I think I can guilt her into giving me a god sword.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize that that's what you were planning on doing. I guess I could have just had that play out, but I feel like Fortis would have come over and offered. So,
yeah. Wait, was that
I got a god sword, so that's all I care about.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, it is gray shaded. Never mind.
Nice. Oh yeah, it should be gray shaded. It wasn't. But it didn't matter.
You didn't roll will, doesn't it?
No, but so as a reminder, it Oh yeah. Wait. Maybe you have to do it separately. Yeah, I guess you have to do it separately on being learned. That's weird. It doesn't matter anyway, though. You didn't get any 3s, so it wouldn't have changed the roll. Let's see. Meditation. Yeah, wow. You got like 4 6s. Not that I don't know if it matters that much. Yeah, I think you just get an extra die. Cool. Yeah, mark that meditation test. So Theo is preparing himself for his raise himself from the dead roll. So Alphonse, you go over to Narani, Narani goes over to you rather, after your conversation with Fortis has ended, and I think she says,
just want to be friends.
Yeah, she says, Alphonse, I feel like I need to apologize.
For what? For killing my friends' wives, or tricking me into sleeping with? Are we gonna have another? Am I gonna have another incest baby on my hands here? Or
she shakes her head and she says, "No, nothing like that." Well, to be fair, we could roll the die of fate if we really cared.
Yeah, die of fate. Die of fate.
Let's have you roll that, Alphonse.
I'm indisposed.
Oh, okay, I'll just roll it from the character sheet then. You're good. I'll do it for you. Die of fate. Here we go. That's 2. Yep. So it doesn't happen.
Man.
Yeah, I think that's the result. I'm not. I don't know if I want to say that she has control over that necessarily, but at the very least, I don't know if it makes sense narratively. I think she says, "Yeah, like no, nothing like that," and then she says, "Alphonse, I'm not going to apologize for why I had to do what I did, or even that I did it. I suppose I'm sorry for how. I had a plan. I still have a plan. I think there's a way to do this. What you wanted to do, save the world. You're a hero to those people down there. And I want you to be. I understand that my methods have been
incestuous,
terrible,
evil.
I know that I'll have to live with those decisions. And we won't have the same relationship. We won't.
I'd hope not.
I don't mean it like that. I mean, Alphonse, I think if what you said is true and everything comes to pass the way we want it to, I don't think my master is going to spare me. So I just wanted to say, I wish things could have been different before I lose that chance.
Is there yet another level of like who's your master?
She's just talking about God, like great God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. right? Because
Okay.
like the way that you framed it, it's like we're gonna win, God's gonna come back, and like even if you don't help us, he's gonna kill you all. And she's just like, well, I think he's gonna do it anyway to me. Like I'm terrible. But yeah, so she says like I wanted to like apologize for like how it had to happen like that before I lose that chance.
Well, I mean, if you can make things right with, I mean, I'm fine. But if you can make things right with,
she shakes her head. You're not fine, Alphonse. You know that you're not fine. Most of it is my fault. I understand that, but you have to deal with this at some point. You do understand that, don't you?
I'll get there when I can, but for now, you should try and make things right with the, people whose wives you murdered.
And how would you suggest I do that?
You're the god.
Alphonse doesn't want to make a roll.
Do some god things.
Very well. Goodbye, Alphonse. Know that you take my favor with you. For whatever that means.
I don't want to know what that means. That's me, Jared, saying that, not him.
Yeah. Yeah, so she turns and leaves. Theo, you want to make that roll?
Okay.
Narani's helping you if you want.
So +2? Or
yeah, I think so. I guess
God should give you +3 faith.
If it's white shaded, I feel like
unfortunately the way it works is like your faith is already gray shaded at this point. The way it works is like you
will that one guy help me?
Fortis? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Let's say well, so the thing is the question is, do you want help? This is gonna be an ob 10 test.
I can't for this one, maybe, because it is consequential. If I fail, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, let me take a look here. Let's say you have 8 dice right now. If you took all 4 of those dice plus your meditation die, that's 13 dice. The ob is going to be 10. So,
could put some into it.
Yeah, that's a routine test. So you need to not take one of the. It's a routine test.
Oh, yeah.
If you have 13 dice against ob 10.
That's true. I do want to. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it by the end of the game, though.
So if you get rid of one of the gods' helps, which Fortis has gone off to help Demarius with the sword thing anyway. So we can just say Narani.
Will I get a persona if I succeed? For my belief?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I might spend 2 persona. That way it doesn't count that, right?
Yeah, it doesn't count that for the difficulty. Yep.
All right, I'll just do it. Already.
Yeah, so 3 advantage dice, and then however Arthur you want, and then ob 10.
Oh,
nice! Right on the money. Look at that, nice roll.
Nice.
Cool, and then that's a difficult test. All right, cool. So, Theo, what does it look like when you rise in glory?
I think I feel like beams of light start shining out of me. Where I open my eyes and just kind of start. They slowly start adding, and I start becoming just a beam of light. And I'm I don't know, I don't feel any different. And then I feel like I just fall really fast, not almost like gravity is double. Like something sucking me down. I think that's
burning like a comet as you plummet to the earth. Yeah.
There's a pause, and I'm what's? Yeah. And then I'm just I'm plummeting towards Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just wake up. I think it's almost like Yeah, I don't know. I think
Yeah,
that's
well,
kind of what
You're
happened.
hell diving.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
hell diving. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm assuming that like real quick. I think before that happens, I think maybe there's like a short exchange between you and Nirani. There's a line that I thought of that I think might be fun to get right before you do that. So I think like as you're like attuning yourself and kind of meditating, and like Nirani comes over to help you, puts a hand on your shoulder. I think she says, as the goddess of marriage, it's always been a miracle, new life. But there's something about a rebirth that seems even more miraculous. And then we get that moment where
Did Theo just become Jesus in this universe, or
I mean, the
Well,
closest we've
okay. In all
gotten-
fairness, I didn't resurrect myself. I'm more like Lazarus.
yeah, true.
Yeah, exactly.
I prayed that God would resurrect my mortal body. So,
Yeah.
and I'm
cool,
just
yeah.
God's like, all right. All
Yep.
right.
Yep. So Theo, you hell dive down to the planet. Where like I'm fine with you like it's not like you have a glorified body per se like Jesus did when he came back, but like I feel like it's fine to be like your body is restored to its original state, and not it doesn't even need to be where you were necessarily, right? Like where your body was.
Like
We can
it's
just have you hell
gone,
dive
and like
down.
now almost like this body is like a it's like a
it got-
respawn.
It got yeah, exactly. It got reconstituted into whatever God used to remake your body, right? It is still your body, but he like broke it down to its atoms and built it up again, right?
Yeah, I come in like Thor.
I see what you did
Right.
there. Broke down its atoms.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Uh,
It's not like we made that joke a bajillion times.
Have we? I don't know.
We have, yeah.
so I don't get any.
Don't you mean you broke it down to its Theos?
So if I come back, can I negate the
The wound.
no, not the wound, the like
The wound's
the,
definitely-
I'm
the
assuming,
darkest hour thing for like a temporary amount of time?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's fine. Let's say you have like a kind of like penumbra around you for a while now. That like you and anyone in your presence, your magic works regularly.
He's got
For-
plot armor.
You don't have plot armor,
around his
but
magic.
you have plot weapons.
Like when you first spawn, he's still like phasing in and out. Like he's like his character's like blinking, right?
No.
It's like
Mm.
not quite like
No, he is very solidly there. But yeah, I like the idea that like around you there's like consecrated ground that like negates the darkest hour penalty.
no. He got like a gold star. He's like
Oh yeah, David, you would have gotten the darkest hour penalty.
To
To
pray.
your faith test.
Alright.
We always forget
Well,
that.
I thought we established that like in heaven it wasn't gonna affect.
No.
I'm not there.
David
Yeah,
should
me.
have gotten it
Oh,
earlier.
Because I did
He
a prayer
his-
during my fight.
oh.
Oh well,
It's fine.
But
It's fine.
I
We
mean,
can
I
patch
don't
it.
think the one dice would have made that much difference.
I don't think it did make a difference at all. Actually, you got like a 15 or whatever. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Theo, yeah, you
I come back and I'm naked. Oh man.
I think you're in. So you can make it up, obviously, but I think you're in like a white, like tunic, kind of, right? Like yeah, I'm imagining like like the Russell Crowe and Gladiator, like that sort of, maybe not armor, but like a tunic, right?
Yeah.
And but it's like all white. So you look like a Greek god with your trident, right? Like not in a toga, but like in like white clothing, like flowing clothing. That sounded good to you?
Yeah. I think
Okay,
I lost
so-
my trident at some point, so I
You
gave it
did,
back.
but
It came back.
we can say,
Nice.
yeah, you get your trident back too. Yeah.
Boomerang, you do always.
This is the like
And you know what, Theo?
conception of Poseidon. This is how Poseidon.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
his backstory.
It definitely seems similar to that vibe, though.
Nice.
I had the power over
I-
women.
I think I'll give you a superior quality trident. It's not gray shaded, but we can say it's like a nice trident, right?
What does that even do? You get like plus one.
Depends on the weapon.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. Tridents,
With the
All
sword,
different.
it gives you a better VA, and that's it.
You know what'd be funny? You know what'd be funny if I like immediately like pray that I get like a gray shaded trident, and then God just says no, and I'm like, oh, okay. Can I try that? So like,
I think it's more interesting. Well, this is the thing, right? You just made it like an ob 10 miracle test. I don't having a gray shade weapon is ridiculously overpowered. I don't.
But not for me being a white shaded trident skill. Or sorry, a black shaded trident
It's not
skill.
because he's white. That's what Theo's
It's
trying to
still-
say.
It's still overpowered though, because as long as you do any damage, a gray weapon will instantly.
But you
kill
said
anybody
you
with
said
black
if I
shade.
do a 13, or was it a 15 or was it 13, 14, 15, I could permanently gray shade something.
Yes. You know what, Theo? This is what I'll give you. If you would like to spend a fate point on your roll that you just made there, if you happen to get a 15, you'll be. If you happen to re-roll all those times and get a 15, I will give you a gray shade trident.
Wait, so
Just have to roll
It's like a
460.
0.2% chance, but yeah.
all right, let's do it. Woo!
All right, one fate, right? Remaining ob 5. One die.
Wait, remaining ob. Oh, you're saying I have to get a 5. Okay.
Yeah. Do lock remaining ob 5. One die.
Oh, dang.
Hey, you got a 6 and a
It's two,
success.
yeah.
That's actually incredible. Like, very unlikely that would have happened. Cool. Well, yeah, you know, even a 12 wouldn't be good enough to temporarily gray shade it. So
Okay, fair enough. I know you said 15. I was just like, if I get a 15,
yeah, no, again, that would have been awesome. I would have been totally down with that.
This is like when the GM's like, if you get a 20, except for actually, I think harder, but
yeah, much harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like always a 5% chance to get a 20. So
yeah, true.
cool. Yeah. So again, you can get a superior quality trident. Let's see, your trident as in the book or as in your character sheet right now is, let's see, 2 power, 2 add, 1 VA. It's not fast.
Really? It has 1 VA already?
I guess. I don't know what we base this off of. Did I have a
Probably
extra?
a spear, right?
Right. That's what I was assuming, but maybe not.
I wouldn't think a spear would have a
What did we write? Yeah, we just
VA.
wrote trident. I don't think. Let's take a look. A regular
also, at one
spear
point, I had a shield, but I
does have 1 VA. Okay.
wow.
Let's see. What does a superior quality spear do? It has 2 VA.
Jeez,
Oh,
what? Disgusting. I picked the wrong kind of weapon. Should have done spears.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you that upgrade.
I mean, I have basically a triple spear. I mean,
True. So really, it should have 6 VA.
I can't remember what. Okay, so what is VA again?
It is the obstacle that people have to roll with their armor dice to not take damage.
Okay.
So it makes it quite a bit
armor
harder.
piercing. Right. It's like an armor piercing thing.
So normally, say I had 5 armor dice, I would roll them, and if I got any successes, I take no damage. But with your versus armor, each point of versus armor increases the ob. So with 2 versus armor, I'd have to get 3 successes instead of 1 to
Oh.
not take damage. So if I got 2 successes, I'd still take full damage.
Hmm.
So it becomes quite a bit harder as you have VA to effectively armor it.
So
Interesting.
Theo, here's the question, Theo. Where do you appear? Where do you hell dive?
5 feet from Faustus, and I stab him. No.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Your
Like-
hell pod just lands on him.
yeah,
You're steering it. You're like,
What if I pop down in the middle
kill
of the
him while you're
street
still invincible.
where like people saw me and they're just like, "What the frick? Where does
well,
dude come
that's
from?"
what I'm wondering, right? Like, so right now there's like a kind of the fight is like stalled over here, but there's a huge battle happening in the Wharf District over here right now.
Here's what I'd say: is like I come down and like, a bunch of people see it and hear it.
Mhm.
And I feel like this could push the narrative towards eventually before the epilogue getting chosen one to make a final roll for like transcendency. So like people like see me and they're like, oh, okay. Like
Hey, I'll tell you what, if we get to a good spot where it feels like, okay, we're about to go into the actual climax, now is a good time to end the arc and do like a trait vote and like that stuff, I'm fine with that. Like it's possible. We've done like 11 sessions in this arc so far. So that's certainly within the realm of plausibility. If you guys want a one last trait vote before we go into the very end of it, like, and we get that's the end of the season and we get the final movie, right? That ties up the whole thing. I'm fine with that. That could be fun. So I think, so Thea, are you going to go down in the Wharf District? Is that what you just said? You're gonna go join the fight. Okay. So let's figure out what Alphonse wants to do real quick. But then we'll go back to the fight with Cantarius and Dellen, and you'll see this like streak of fire going through the sky as you're like finishing your fight here. Alphonse, what are you planning? What's your plan to get out of heaven? Are you just gonna be like
They
Narani?
just ditched me, man.
Are you just expecting the gods to send you? Because they could. I'm just curious if you wanted to roll.
I mean, I'll probably go up to the guy who's been helping me.
Narani just gives you a piggyback ride.
Like, hey, is there any way I can, like go back, but like in style?
Take the chariot. Here's the keys. Blip, blip.
Right. Yeah.
I'm curious. Let me see. Pantheon, Garrick Pantheon. I'm gonna double check.
Crashes it. It's like, how do I control this thing?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has that chariot, it's Atarian, the god of the sun, who's the guy you just convinced to help you.
Okay.
That would be
I
kind
don't
of
think he'd
cool.
let you drive it, but you'd be in it.
Well, they're all coming down to help, right?
They are not coming down to Lucerta to help. They are doing the things as gods would in the heavenlies, right?
Just drop him off while you're on your way.
Oh, I thought this was going to be like a...
No. Again, there's like metaphysical and spiritual stuff happening just as dangerous as the physical things that are happening on planet. But don't worry, there's going to be some miracles thrown around here as you're going. I already have an idea for one.
So are they fighting like a spiritual battle? Like obviously there's demons possessing humans, but are they also
they're going to be
like,
fighting in the demon
demons?
realm and stuff, right?
Okay,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Different realms, okay.
And there's like a bunch of stuff happening all over the world right now that they have to the fires they can try to put out. They're also rallying the other gods. Like there's a whole big thing there. But Alphonse, if you would like to go to Atarian and ask him, hey, can I borrow your chariot? Like that is, I think, a thing that we could do.
Yeah, I can't really get out of here. Could I like borrow your cool sun chariot thing?
Yeah, the thought of it seems distasteful to him, but he also like he's enough of like a hierarchy type of person that when you pulled rank on him by being God's champion or whatever, he's not gonna like, because he views disobeying you as disobeying God at this point, right? Like,
yeah.
So
I
I think
use that.
within reason. But
Only
I think
I can have 3 wives.
Right. I do think the idea would be, I'm imagining a little bit of like a Saul and David moment here, where he's like looking down at you and he's like, if you're going to be a representative of the gods on Earth, then we will need to change your persona. And we get a hard cut and you're in the actual golden
and you
armor.
lose 10 persona.
No. I think we see Alphonse in the actual golden armor of Atarian, cool. Right? Like he pretended to be in a long time ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can
that
kind
gray
of
armor.
I don't think it's maybe like a chariot then, because the important thing would be that you're in the armor, right?
Can it be a Mustang?
I'm interested in the idea that like it's like a beam of light sort of thing, right? Because he's like the god of the sun. We see this like Bifrost style with Thor. Like I think Theo is more like shooting down as like a meteor, but you're going to be like a beam of light and then zoop, you like appear.
And a chorus of trumpets.
Right? Yeah, sure.
Somewhere an astrologist is having an aneurysm.
Right? He's like, what does this mean? Let's see. What do you have in your character sheet right now? You just have regular armor, right? Yeah, regular plated mail.
I have the cool superior quality thing that what's his face made for me.
No, he didn't make superior quality. I don't think he could have. He made plate armor for you. I don't think Antonius.
I thought it was better than base, but not like the best.
Yeah, it was run of the mill. It was like the normal, the average. Yeah, it wasn't poor quality certainly. But I think we'll give you a superior quality everything at this point, right? So,
where's all my superior quality stuff? Just kidding.
Well, you got to die and go to heaven, right?
Oh, all right. You're a wizard guy.
Got to go to heaven first. And then I think you have maybe, I guess, a great helm. If you're fine with that.
No, I don't want the best helmet in the game. How dare you?
It does give you penalties to seeing things, right? Not that
Yeah,
that really
exactly.
matters.
I don't have any seeing skills anyway, so we're good.
All right, just gonna double check real quick to make sure I have the armor type correct here with the actual dice. Oh, yeah, I guess it would be full plate. If you're, as long as you want the like highest level armor, everything.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so that means your total dice here is 7 for the torso,
Cool.
and then 6 for everything else.
And it's great, right?
It's not great, no. That would make it impossible for you to ever be hit by anything, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
There's some sort of translation issue here, right? Where let me double check. Armor may only test against weapon of the same or darker shade. Standard armor, for example. Oh, I guess that's the only rule that counts. Yeah, sure, you can have gray shade armor. That makes sense.
Woo!
Because the only difference is that it'll just be easier to
Yeah,
defend yourself, right?
more likely to succeed. Yeah.
That makes sense to me. But I think we can establish this is like it's probably a temporary thing. As soon as Atarian gets into battle, he will need this back.
Yeah.
So this is a temporary like upgrade.
He's just summoned his shard plate and let you get
exactly,
in it. At some point, he's gonna be like, "Sorry, I need that back."
I need that back. Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or like
cool.
Thor, no, you take the small one.
Yeah. Yeah. You take the small one. Exactly. Yeah. Cool. So, Theo. Well, actually, yeah. Let's come back to the fight then. And try to bring that to a conclusion, and then we can see you all like ascending from the sky. And honestly, so here's the. You know what? I'm gonna just do this. This will be the easiest way to do it.
Is Cantarius injured still?
No.
No.
You
did the persona thing.
Yeah, I did. I undid it.
Yeah, gotcha.
We saw this. We saw Doomseer have a vision of what happened, and I dodged out of the way.
All right, here we go. Let's flip. He's doing a void. What's you guys' first actions?
Sorry, I was getting back to it. Counter-Strike.
I think Counter-Strike doesn't go off against a void. Let me check that.
You sure?
I'll double check. Counter-Strike.
Where are the two mooks? Do they not choose cards?
They're adding dice to his stuff.
They're just adding dice to his.
Oh.
That's what I was saying in the chat.
Yeah. For void,
I see.
nothing.
I thought that they would be the same person. Oh, dang. I want to change everything now.
What? Why would that have changed what you did?
He thought the soldiers were going to be scripting also.
I thought the soldiers would be scripting as one person.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, yeah. This is
That's
just
what you meant
him.
by the mooks.
Him being helped by the mooks. Would you like to change what you're doing? Like, would that fact change your Counter-Strike? I guess is my question.
That's what I'm trying to decide. Because
can he even do it? Do we just forget?
I was going to say, Counter-Strike against a void just doesn't go off. Nothing happens for Cantarius.
I mean, the reason I chose Counter-Strike instead of Strike was specifically because I knew I'd have to defend against two attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, but it still feels like I'm cheating. So,
well, like, just think about it, and we can all decide together what you would have done. Right? Like, just make sure we all agree.
If
I think I would have done what I did last time, right? It's just strike first.
Sure, that's fine.
I only did Counter-Strike because
I don't really mind. I don't think the combat is going to last long against this guy. He doesn't have a lot going for him against both of you. So,
let's just keep it then. Whatever, that's fine. It is what it is.
He was going to choose to avoid against Ellen anyway. He's not as worried about your staff as he is.
What's the difference between Counter-Strike and Block and Strike?
Block and strike is literally two separate actions. The block doesn't go off because he's avoiding, but the strike does go off.
Of course.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike is I split the dice.
But that's what Block and Strike is. I'm confused.
Well, wait, can you do block and strike without a shield?
I don't
think you can.
No, somebody did it against me without a shield, I think.
I'll
I feel like we had that conversation.
Nope. Special action reserved for characters with shield training.
Oh, well then how did that one guy I was fighting do it?
He had a shield.
Not just now. I don't mean this guy. I mean a guy previously who I'm pretty sure didn't have a shield.
I mean, we've done like 2 fights in the entire.
Yeah, I mean it was.
Are you talking about?
No. I killed a guy.
You're talking about Furio?
No, he was the first like Shoei guy I fought. It was not very, or no, maybe it wasn't a Shoei guy. Maybe he was a guy in the.
It's like the only fights we've done with Dellen have
Riot
been.
or whatever.
Oh no, we didn't do a fight for that though.
I don't remember what it was. All I know is somebody used block and strike on me, and I don't think they had a shield.
I'm almost
'Cause we
positive
had
that
this
didn't
exact
happen.
conversation.
I'm almost positive
That's
that didn't happen.
That's the best circumstantial evidence I've ever heard.
I remember last time we had a brief conversation about block and strike, and you asked, "Wait, does this guy have a shield?" And I said, "Yes, he does have a shield." That's the only thing I remember ever talking about block and strike.
Okay. Then would I have had to use Counter Strike then?
Yeah, Counter Strike is I think the option there.
What's the difference? Why does that matter then?
Yeah, that's
check.
what I thought you were asking. I don't.
Yep.
I don't get it.
It tests
I guess
your
the
weapon.
only difference is that you need a shield to do block and strike, and
Exactly.
Yeah, but why would
Basically,
you-
the reason why block and strike is great is because it's literally 2 separate actions that you can do in this one action.
right.
So you're not
as
splitting
opposed
your
to-
pool.
You're not
two
splitting your pool.
actions
You're
with
doing
full-
2 separate actions.
No,
Counter strike is
you-
splitting your pool. No. Block and strike are 2 separate actions that have their own dice that you do not split your pool for them. Counter strike, you split your pool.
I mean,
That's why it's better.
I don't know if that's. I thought the reason it's better is because it works on a void because this Counter Strike doesn't. But I'm like 95%.
Oh, no, you're right.
When
You're
you did
100%
block and
right.
strike against me. You split
No,
the dice.
it's yeah, you do split the dice.
But yeah, I mean
it
the
just
fact that it
seems
works
so
against
weird, right?
the void. Yeah, it's a little strange. I think maybe the difference is that like block and
You
strike
obviously
is
get
you
your
have your shield and you're swinging, whereas Counter Strike is like you're blocking and then parrying, which you can't do if they don't swing because they're still threatening you with their weapon.
mhm.
That's probably why.
Yeah, it's kind of like a feint sort of thing, or not a feint, but like
Sure.
like you're waiting for them to make a move before you make a move, right? Sort
All
of
right.
thing.
Well, then I guess I should have done Counter Strike and it doesn't do anything.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. But then he doesn't have an action in his next one, and then we just keep going,
Yeah.
right?
So all
Okay,
3 of
line
us
up a
waste
great
our
strike.
turns.
Yeah.
You're
we
just
both-
lining up the great strike. Okay, very good.
David and I know what's up.
Funny.
No, that's fine. That's
funny.
fine. So he's going to do avoid next.
No
Oh.
way.
Why is
Okay.
he? Okay.
He thinks he's going to die.
Yeah, I guess that's.
Oh,
fair.
whoops! I took my card.
Is it? Wait. Oh yeah, that is what I meant. Oh wait, no. You have to script Great Strike back to back, don't you?
Yeah, you do
Yeah, you do.
because
Oh,
it takes 2 actions.
Well then,
That's fine. You could do great strike next. I assume that's what you were going to do.
Yeah,
Yep.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yep.
Wait. What is happening? I didn't even.
It doesn't matter. We know you're doing a great strike.
Okay, thank you.
All right, cool. So
Here. There you go, David.
Thanks.
no, you're not doing anything, Gondaris.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
wait, hold up.
You just
Just
stand
gonna-
there. You do nothing.
Ah!
Just gonna delete this and put the other one there.
All right, so against a void, it's versus his speed. So again, he's only doing this against Dellen, so Cantarius is getting a free hit on him with great strike.
Oh, all right.
So let's go ahead and do that first. Cantarius, you
that's
can just do your
crazy.
hit. It is again still against the Ob 4.
Sure.
Has the like added whatever.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to.
Or no, it's not against the Ob 4. You wait. Did you succeed on?
We never. Oh yeah, we didn't get. Yeah, we both got 3s. Yeah,
You
so
both-
we,
You're
Yeah,
both in
we're at
optimal
0.
range.
We're in optimal
Yeah.
range. Yeah.
So he has penalties. So yeah, you're in optimal range. It's just the Ob 3 then.
do we get bonuses for being in optimal range?
No,
Oh, I think
we
you do.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
so.
I believe
I
you do.
didn't Get bonuses.
I know you
when
didn't.
was
I think
fighting
we
earlier.
forgot about it.
Okay.
Advantage.
Oh wow.
I think it's just like a couple of dice.
Just a couple of days. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it literally did not matter at all for
I
me
don't think it
because he
did,
just blocked it with his armor. So I literally did nothing.
All right, advantage. You get. So you have a long weapon against a knife. You get +2 dice.
+2.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So again, Ob 3 here, Cantarius, because the guy's getting in your way. Oof, that was not a good roll. Spend fate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cantarius. At it again. The best part is I'm not even What?
Whoa, man! It is Connor's lucky day.
What the heck?
Holy
well, I
crap,
mean, I don't think it
what?
matters. I don't
That's
think
crazy.
it matters too much anyway. But
You just get a regular hit against him.
right.
Gwenny needs something from me. I rolled my thing. If you want to just resolve it.
Sure. Yep. I'm
Yeah,
rolling
awesome.
speed for him right now.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Did you give yourself the 2 extra dice from having a long weapon?
He rolled 16 dice, so I'm assuming so. He just took off his
Probably.
headphones.
I guess. The question
What
is,
was
did he
his
get
last
time?
roll? Yeah.
He got. Yeah, I think it
15
makes sense.
dice?
It'll look like it's correct.
Are you sure? Because he only added one more advantage die than last time.
Yeah, but there might be. I don't think armored wise help or outnumbered. Yeah, outnumbered. Wait, there might have been a fork that he had
Sure,
last
yeah,
time.
I'll
That he
just
didn't.
go
I'm
with
just
it.
going to assume that it's right.
I'm sure he's dead anyway, but he's not going to die from me, but he's going to die from David.
Yeah, 3 versus 10.
Whoa, why is
Well-
he rolling that?
Against David's.
Oh, what?
Right,
What,
you-
is,
you
what
get-
did he roll against mine?
He tripped
Nothing
and fell.
because he's scripting against Dellen. Only he can only script against one person.
Oh,
no, sorry. I just remembered. Avoid scripts. Avoid is the one action you can script against everyone that's attacking you. I just remember.
yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because
So he got a 3, which was the ob. Well, wait. Well, how did you put in an ob 4, Connor? It was an ob 3 test.
you said it. Oh
No, it was originally back when I thought it was just a standard. It was ob 3. So you got 6 against 3 instead of. So you can hit him in the arm with a regular hit.
yeah, okay.
Cool. I will spend a fate for him now. Because he's gonna die here in a second if he doesn't.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's
You failed.
that's a 1. Okay, cool. So you both get a hit off. Let's resolve yours first, Connor. So you got a regular hit against his arm. What is your regular hit? What does it say on your staff there?
Oh, I
Like the middle one. B whatever.
6 B6.
B6. Cool.
There's I, M, and
Right,
S, right?
Right. It was the light wound. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be M. It would be Mark.
Okay.
And you have no versus armor. Hey,
No, he did great.
finally.
He did great strike.
Wow, finally.
Oh, you're
Not
right.
that it
You're right.
matters, but
Not that it matters, but yeah, that's true, Connor. You did great strike, so you could have given yourself a versus armor there, which I assumed is what you did. Right, that would have been the more optimal thing to do, technically.
No, I did whatever. He failed the armor roll, and
But you
forgot
didn't
Yeah,
know
just
that in
before
advance.
and the
But-
armor
but-
stopped 3 of your attacks. Let's not pretend you wouldn't have done armor. so.
Exactly. Yeah, he gets another light wound,
All
and then
Got
I
me.
mean, I'm assuming David's just going to kill him here. Are you going to try to hit him in the head?
Yeah,
he
I
got a 1 there,
Superb on his head. What?
so he does get damage on that.
What do you mean?
On the hit that Connor just got, he did get a 1.
Oh, his armor gets worse. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna aim his
Not-
head though.
Not that it's going to matter. Yeah, you're going to try to. Cut
Wait,
off
does
his
he
head
have
here.
armor on his head?
He does. He has a leather helm.
Oh, okay. So yeah, obviously I'm gonna do versus armor.
Yep. Superb on his, and then versus armor. What is so VA2 then? No, you have a
No,
regular
it's
weapon, so
VA1.
just VA1. Okay.
Odd too, but yeah.
All right, let's see if it makes it. A fails.
So yeah, you crack his arm and then his head just whoop.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we can assume that you take off the soldiers, and then no problem
Cool.
after that, right?
Yeah.
And it's so you manage to kill this dude, and I was pretty happy with the way that went because like I did threaten Cantarius with a serious wound, and if that other guy had gotten any hits on Dellen, it could have been bad. It felt pretty fun to me.
You should
but-
have gone for strikes though, because
Probably, but like, yeah, I knew that you guys were gonna kill him no matter what, so I just wanted to kind of like see who would have gotten the hit and just like let you guys kind of duke it out for that, as opposed to trying to
you wanted to see who gets the kill.
pretty much.
I stole your kill. Sorry.
Yeah, you
I
did.
think
Well,
any
this
of
is
the
your thing,
dangerous.
not mine.
It seems silly to me that after he threatened Cantarius with the serious wound and then you managed to get away from it, and Dellen, like it didn't seem to make sense that he would have gotten anything on Dellen. It would have been silly to me to have him
Hey,
like stab him.
Right.
What
Suppose.
disciplines does this guy have?
Not
He,
Well,
yeah,
I
he had
suppose he's
elemental.
well, I was just
think.
thinking.
He has 3.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter. I was thinking maybe he has the spatial discipline, and I could force him to teleport me away. to Faustus
Mm,
again.
mm.
I mean, he's very
Well,
dead. So
yeah,
he's
Dylan
very
cut his
dead,
head off.
doesn't
So
he
yeah.
now? Yep.
maybe
So
that was
I
the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Cantarius had got him in a lock, he certainly could have done that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But instead, we see you guys finish this guy off and then quickly dispatch the other soldiers. And it's not even that like you obviously kill the commander, and so like they're starting to like their morale is definitely low, the enemy army. But again, there's just still so many of them. It still seems like you're not sure if their morale is going to break enough that you can just like start slaughtering them, right? And that's of course the moment where you see a streak of light in the sky, right? And I think we see Theo descending. It's very unclear that it's Theo. It just looked like fire to you guys, right? But we see him like a comet streak across the sky towards the Wharf District. But before it even lands, you see we get a shot of the river, and it's like in Fellowship of the Ring, where the water suddenly kind of goes down. Right, like it's like the ships, and again, there's Shoei ships docked in the harbor here that like had the soldiers poured off from those ships. We see the water level start to dip drastically for some reason, and like some of the ships even like start to tilt because they like hit the bottom of the river and just like start to tilt, and we're not sure what's happening, and then we just like the shot kind of pans and we see a giant. It's probably the other way around. We see this from the bank of the ocean, kind of where the river is. Then we pan around and we see a giant like tsunami tidal wave sort of thing start to tower over, and it crashes very selectively. It doesn't like destroy the Wharf District, but it crashes very selectively on all of their ships. Right?
Nice.
It is like in Fellowship of the Ring, the horses. Right? It's just like
awesome,
and like destroys the ships. And as soon as the soldiers, because they were trying to like, I think maybe even they're starting to make a fighting retreat back towards the ships, and they're just like despairing, right?
Nowhere
it's
to go
like,
now.
oh no, there's nowhere to go, right? And of course, that's when maybe we even get a shot similar to, I'm pulling from Lord of the Rings now, all this imagery. We get a shot similar to Return of the King, then where they do start to just make a full-on bolt towards the river or something, right? They're just gonna like maybe jump in the water and try to swim away. Like they're panicking, and maybe like one of the ships has survived, and they just are trying to get to it as quickly as possible. Let's say that one ship has like barely managed to survive, and they're rushing towards it, like all these Shoei soldiers, and that's of course the place where Theo, right, comes down,
crushes the ship. Nice.
Yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, that's kind of a cool image. Up to you, Theo. I was imagining you like at the docks right before the ship, and you were going to be like Aragorn standing in their way, right? Like the orcs coming to the Umbar ships. But you could also hit the ship too, whatever you want to do.
I come out and I'm like, I come out of the water. I'm like singed, like there's like black all over my hair. Is just like sort of like, whoa, man, I just crash landed. Like,
I mean, honestly, that seems kind of cool to me, especially because like Theo's like gladiator name was like the Ocean's Death or whatever. Like we see the Theo as Meteor like slam through the last ship that hadn't been destroyed, and then he just walks up from the water, right? Like steam pouring off of him, like as the water like disintegrates or dissipates.
Evaporates.
Yeah, evaporates. That's the right word.
Yeah, I like that better actually. So
cool. Yeah, and we see Theo with a trident, right, like standing there in his white clothes. And then probably Alphonse. Alphonse, would you like appear right next to Theo, or would you appear somewhere else?
I mean, if I could choose, I'd probably just go straight to Dellen and Cantarius.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Dellen Cantarius, you see, probably. There's like a platform built way long ago in this courtyard where you guys had that like duel of wits with Winter. I think it's still there. It's now used for civil disputes and like speeches and stuff that needs to happen in this district. And I think that's where Alphonse appears, right? And the same place where he gave his speech to defeat a demon, right? We see him appear in golden light with the like golden armor on with his I guess you don't have a sword yet, Alphonse, right? Because they're still like forging the shards of Narsil, but we see you at least appear in golden light. But yeah, I imagine we can just abstract it from there, right? Like you obviously defeat the army. But I mean, if you wanted to roll, Theo, you could certainly do so to like fight the soldiers.
No, that's all right. I don't think
Yeah.
he does anything. I was just imagining like when he comes down, there's just like a fading aura where it's almost like he does like these really, he comes down, he blasts, and maybe even like walks out of the water, and the water's like parting for him. But then it kind of like fades, where he kind of like it's just like the aura of heaven kind of fading off within a few minutes. But it's just like, whoa, that was kind of crazy, and like it kind of goes away eventually. But
Love it.
what I was picturing, and then they just so wait, did Cantarius and Cantarius and Dellen see this, or it's just like other people saw it?
I think they certainly saw something like a meteor hit the ship, basically. But I don't think they realize it's you until they fight to you, right? Like, and a bunch of the Shoei soldiers end up surrendering and stuff. But like, by the time they get to that part of the area, like you've already defeated them, and right, like, we just see you in the aftermath of that whole thing.
Is Alphonse next to me, or is he by?
Alphonse said that he appeared next to Cantarius and Dellen, so he was just helping
okay.
them probably as they fought their way to you.
Yeah, so I don't think I need to make a fight roll.
Yeah, no, and I honestly think that's where we like call the session proper, because like that's like the glorious victory battle that happens there, right?
It's like now we go straight for Faustus now.
And
like,
yes, exactly. Yeah, the next thing we'll pivot to is like what that looks like. So let's zoom out now and just have a quick conversation about like obviously Artha stuff, but like where we want to go next. So Cantarius, obviously you didn't get your cool moment to like go after Faustus, unless, well, up to you. They start running. Does Cantarius just slip away?
That was my plan.
Okay. Again, I'm fine with
what
that.
He's on. I mean, he might not slip away as much as just say, like he probably. I mean, I think he would tell Dellen, just be like, "I'm on my way to Faustus next." They're running.
But I mean, that's an awful idea.
Well, yeah, I know. Why would you?
He's just gonna do it though.
You still think I'm dead? Though,
Well,
so.
Exactly. This has always been Cantarius' thing.
He murdered Theo, so he's just gonna go kill.
Well, sure, but you
Faustus.
could give us 5 minutes and we can come with you.
Or I could get a 5-minute head start.
Yeah, and then
And
you
he
can
died 5 minutes too late.
Corpse
5
could be
minutes
5
deader.
minutes cooler when we get there. I
mean, you don't need to stay for the 5 minutes. You could just follow along if you want to. But but Cantarius like starts to go.
Right.
before
So
the
so
battle's
basically what
done.
Cantarius says is like they're on the run. This battle is won. I'm off to Faustus. Are you coming?
Yeah. He says exactly that in those exact words.
Perfect.
But in my voice.
like, well, we have to finish this fight, but I mean, Faustus will still be there, and we need to meet him together. Or, I mean, you heard what happened to Theo. Now, I'm not going to find out that you died because you decided to go it alone too. But I can't just. We have to make sure everything's stable here. I mean, I don't know what just happened, but it looks like we're winning. So they just destroyed all the ships. I have no idea what that was. I'm gonna blame Alphonse, but yeah, we have to wrap things up here, and then we can all go together.
Is that a roll from Dellen?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Probably.
That
I don't know.
Kind of makes sense to me, right?
I'm gonna make an ugly truth roll because you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I have a deeds point.
Yeah,
And it's thematically appropriate, so therefore I have plot armor.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, you can certainly increase the op here. Like
have-
for you, it might be like a complex trait.
Oh
right?
no, go ahead. You go. No,
I
just roll.
have played enough of this game that I know that that's how it works. You have plot armor when it's cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just like my son did and
Yeah,
Leo
yeah.
did.
You have plot armor as long as you have percent points.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that's less plot armor and more just
Right.
like
Very
instead of
like
killing you, we just
make you suffer.
make you suffer.
Sure, yeah. So does it increase the
Cantarius has been
difficulty
suffering
though?
his whole life.
Because I mean,
Say again.
isn't it just the obvious thing that will happen? You're saying he could increase the odd, but that isn't really how it works, right? It's like it's just.
Well, I mean, I think we can always
speaking.
yes, but we can always give odd penalties for beliefs that Cantarius has against this, which he does, right?
Right. Well, I know that's how it works for persuasion against someone's will, but I don't know. I guess it's up to you.
I feel like the whole quote. It's really difficult to get people to believe something when their job depends on it, or when their like beliefs depend on like not understanding you.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
Right,
it's not like
like,
I'm telling him not to kill him. I'm just telling him to give me 5 minutes so that he can survive it.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Here, this is something we need to figure out. Ugly truth is not used to persuade people. So technically, what
Yeah.
the only thing you're doing is getting them to change a belief.
Right.
Right.
The belief is I need to do this by myself because I want to die. I want to
Uh-huh.
change that belief to I want to do this with my
True.
friends so that we win.
True. Yeah. Okay. Go
Sure.
for it. And then I'll still get Persona either way.
Right, but like, so Cantarius, is that the simplest truth possible? Is that what we are agreeing on? One ugly truth. It feels more complex than that, just because of
Does
Cantarius.
it? I mean, it's literally
Make it out
suicide.
to.
I don't.
Make it up to.
Up to, okay.
Any forks for this? I have instruction and command. Do either of those work?
Didn't sound like you were doing either.
Okay, I have persuasion. I assume that works.
Yeah, you can do persuasion.
How about suasion? Because he'll die, and then his eternal soul will be forfeit.
If you had added something about that, sure.
I said he was going to die. That's an
That's right.
implication of death.
No, you'd have to be.
I mean,
you'd
I'm
actually
fine
have
with
to
it, but
talk.
it doesn't matter.
No, I'm just kidding.
What I'm saying is, like, you could just add one little thing, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. So, I mean, what does that look like? Like, this is probably a big moment for Cantarius, right? Like, we should go together.
Yeah, and you said something earlier that Dylan didn't really have any reason to understand what was happening, so he kind of brushed it off. What was that line you said last session when you were trying to introduce
yeah.
the way you're?
I think it was like everyone dies around me. Like, all my friends die around me.
Oh yeah,
That's
Oh,
what
no.
it was, yeah.
Oh, no. Everyone I love dies when I'm not there. That's what it was.
That's
Because
right.
he's talking about like Theo dying, and he's like, I wasn't
Sure.
there, and Theo's dead.
Yeah. So then I'm like,
because he was talking about I stay close to me, Dylan, because like I don't want you to die either, right?
so then after I said, I'm like, and hey, if everyone dies when you're not there, then maybe you should stick around.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a good point, because like obviously it's
Yeah.
revenge again because you're emotionally turmoil, but like if you leave them and they die, then you've
Yeah.
just played into the
Yeah.
exact same thing.
Yeah,
Sure.
so yeah, we get a shot of like him like standing on him standing back turned to him, and he says that and he stops, and we get a shot facing the other way, and we just see Dylan amidst this big battle, and
Yeah.
and he's just like and turns back around, and maybe we see like a soldier like reach for his sword or something like that, and Kentaris just like hits him on the head of the stick.
Right, like on the
"Let's go
ground."
finish up. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, and then so we get that moment where I think like Cantarius, Dylan, you just had that moment, and then that's the moment where Alphonse appears in
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
Do you have any exchange with him briefly, or do you just like
Yeah,
is it just like we
probably.
gotta fight? Okay, yeah, go.
Like,
I mean, we can
wow,
play out
this
whatever
is-
you guys want to.
A crazy day. Where did you come from? Was that you, the wave? I'm blaming you for it, even if it wasn't you. But
Jared?
Sorry, my baby's being fussy.
Yeah, I figured.
okay.
Just making a dynamic entry as usual.
Yeah. How did you? Usually, when you teleport, there's no giant beam of light. How did you do that?
Yeah, the gods are back. No big deal.
The gods are back. What is that? What do you mean?
Or sorry, the Saints.
Gods are back,
Saints
and
are
you're
back,
gonna
Oh, yeah.
be in trouble.
Saints are back. What do you mean?
The ghost of Theo summoned me to heaven, and then I just seduced all the gods, and now they're back.
Yeah,
What really
yeah.
happened?
Cantarius growls.
I'm imagining that like from like if I was playing Dylan in that moment, I would have been like, one of these days we're gonna have to talk about all this blasphemy that you just do regularly, but
Yeah.
now is not the time, right? Like
Yeah.
Is that even blasphemy anymore though? Because he doesn't like to
seducing
say-
the patron saints.
I mean,
I
the
think it still
gods
is.
were the ones that did it to you, basically.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
true.
I feel like his his faith in the saints has been shaken because he's the son of one.
It's true. Yeah. So what really happened?
Exchange the word seduced for persuade, and then that's what really happened.
Less than an alteration than I was expecting.
Cantarius looks at Dylan and shrugs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
it makes sense to me. It's Alpha.
I say crazier things have happened, but I don't know that they have. All right, sure. Yeah. So the gods did the tidal wave? The Saints? Sorry, I don't know. I keep doing that.
Yeah. Crap. What? I keep forgetting the new guy that likes me.
Fortis,
The Fortis. Yeah, Fortis just beam me down.
or no,
see,
no, sorry,
also-
the guy who beamed you down was Atarian, the leader of the gods.
Oh,
Oh, all right, sure.
Or
Also, I've
just
noticed
beam me down, you know.
you're wearing armor that I don't recognize. Maybe I do
Yeah,
recognize it.
Atari.
Oh, yeah, you do. Like, but to you, it would be like, it obviously looks like really fancy, but Alphonse has had fake armor of Atarian made
Yeah.
before, so yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm like, why are you wearing your fake armor again?
Nah, dude, this is the real deal. I tap the chest a little bit. And it goes like thunk.
The real
Maybe
deal,
maybe like a little bit of like godly like sparkles.
Mm.
like
come on.
Atarian's actual armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to sit down and have a conversation about this, but we got things going on. I guess you can lead the way. You're invincible now, right?
Cantarius hits that one soldier, like gets back up again, and Cantarius hits him on the head again.
I mean, Alphonse does need a sword though, but you could probably just like take a sword from a soldier on the ground.
Yes, bunch.
Oh
of
yeah,
them, probably.
you just killed people with god tier human items, so I just take one of those.
Yeah.
Do they got good swords, Caleb? They had the best helmet in the game, so I assume they have.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can take the commander's sword. It's like some sort of like Chinese long blade, right?
Oh yeah, it just occurred to me you were wearing a helmet. I probably wouldn't have known it was you.
I mean,
Oh.
Nah, you knew it was him because of the arm.
You could just tell by the swagger.
Yeah, by the way he walks.
exactly.
You could. Alphonse has a very flamboyant walk.
True. But I don't know how Atarian walks, and if I recognize his armor and you were wearing the helmet, I might have thought it was him. But maybe you weren't wearing the helmet, maybe you're holding it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
thought I
let's
was
do that.
Atarian at the beginning, that would have been a very.
Yeah, very. different
Yeah,
conversation.
exactly. That's why I had that realization.
Dylan attacks
and I
him
was like,
immediately. You betrayed us.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, Alphonse, if you pull
Good
up that
stuff.
long
All
blade
right, yeah,
and
there you
then
go.
just lead the way, right? Just like charge forward. Yeah, I mean, with gratiated armor.
There's nothing much else we can do right now.
Yeah, and then we see that moment
Just
where
look at Cantarius and shake my head.
what does it look like when
Cantarius does the same.
Theo's fine. He came back.
What? Sorry, there were three people talking. What
what
did you say, Jared?
Yeah, like I'm just like charge. I'm like, oh yeah, Cantarius, Theo's all good. He's back.
What?
Yeah, Cantarius like stops in his tracks and is like,
And honestly, I will say that that's the moment where the
He's-
meteor hits into the last,
Yeah, right,
into the
there you
last
go.
ship, right?
Just start laughing. All right, cool. Oh man, good stuff.
yeah, I think Cantarius is probably like, maybe like in his own mind. We get the anime moment, the close up shot where he's like, what? Maybe God does exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
he's like, finally something good happened. Like all of my
Right.
loved ones keep dying, and then this one came back, and I wasn't even there.
The eucatastrophe has
Also, my mom
arrived.
killed your
Say it again.
The what?
It's
wife. Also,
Jared
my
said
mom
also.
killed your wife.
Say it one more time.
My mom killed your wife. He said.
You say that?
Yeah.
We were in the moment.
Who's your mom?
I think we've told you this, haven't we?
I think it did get revealed. That,
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, Alphonse told Cantarius, and Cantarius is like, what? Yeah, he just is like, and how can I get to her?
well,
I
if you
think
set
they're
up an
gonna
appointment
be
with her
coming down here
secretary, you can
soon
get her
enough.
2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you actually say?
What did Jared say?
I think they'll be coming down here soon enough, eventually, to help, maybe.
Riding 7 white horses, coming around the mountain.
Does anybody have a weapon that can kill a god?
I mean, we got a lot of people in line. I understand why you feel that way, but it's
probably a problem for after the Faustus situation.
yeah. Let's make new enemies after we kill our current ones.
Yeah, I think Cantarius just goes with it because he's so emotionally confused right now.
Yeah.
After all those
Maybe
those
God
drops.
is real. God killed your mom. Well, I don't understand. Or your wife, I mean.
Yeah.
What's
Cool.
going on?
What do we actually see when they get to like the soldiers have surrendered and like the last bits or whatever, and the Cantarius, Alphonse, and Dellen make their way to Theo by the harbor or whatever, right? Like wherever he is. You describe for us, Theo, what they see.
Is this after I've been fighting or before?
Yes, exactly. The battle is over. This is them that's just like finding you and regrouping with you.
I'm just sitting there, like pretzel, like meditating. Like all they come in and they see me like sitting on the ground, like facing away from them, with the trident on my lap, and just meditating.
Are you still naked?
No, I was never naked.
Oh wait, you had Gandalf robes. I forgot.
Yeah, like white tunic, basically. Yeah.
I am Theo the White.
You were white before. I don't understand.
He was Theo the Black before, but now he has some gray shaded stuff, so it's Theo the Gray.
Theo the Gray.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Dellen's like, Theo, you crazy monster, come here. And like tries to give you a hug. Scared the crap out of me. I thought you were dead. Or someone told me you were dead. I don't. Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around all what Alphonse's incredibly brief description of your, I don't know, trip to heaven. I don't know. Maybe you can have a little bit more.
Heaven. I died.
Well, he said you called him there. So I don't. What do you mean?
I knew he could persuade the gods, and he was the only one that could. So I needed him.
I think Cantarius.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean the gods. I meant only he could persuade the patron saints.
Right. Yeah.
I think Cantarius goes to hug Theo, and then sees him less like a friend and more like a god all of a sudden, like more like the Pope, and he has like respect for him, and he's like, Theo, what should we do next?
And then Theo hugs Cantarius.
Well, that's good.
He's like, what should we do next? Bro,
Cantarius like is like stunned and then
that's a great moment.
Hugs you back.
Nice.
I think I'm tearing up a little bit.
Yeah, and then he's like, he just says, "We kill Faustus, we get the keys, and save Mr.
And we become the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Save the town and Mr. Krabs."
Yeah, Alphonse, do you have any input on this? The scene that's happening.
About what to do next?
About the scene that's happening.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, another thing I forgot. The only way to, do the prophecy right is for little Alfredo to use the artifacts.
Who's little Alfredo?
Make
a steel test, Alphonse.
Like a what?
Make a steel test.
Why does he need to make a steel test?
Because he has still not accepted the fact that this is his son.
The truth. Yeah. The truth of this matter is
sorry,
too much for him to bear.
20 is being wacky. What's the odds?
It is.
It's going to be your hesitation. That 4 there, but I'll give you an advantage die for being in a group of friends and allies. Where have you been, Thea, Adam?
I forgot.
His sister. Remember?
Yeah, his sister. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was like, this is like giving a major plot point.
I meant like, what's her name? I know it's a sister.
Oh, yeah.
Ipona, I think.
Epona.
Yeah. Which I only remember because it's the horse from Zelda.
Yeah.
Wait, what's her name?
Ipona.
Ipona, that's right.
I'm double checking real quick before you roll. I'm just double checking to make sure. Oh, okay.
But yes.
Oh, nice.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, it would have been.
Jeez.
That was a very good steel roll.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like it's open ended, but it's still black shaded.
Rolls I've succeeded.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, Alphonse, I think this is the
It is.
moment where you, like, if it's fine with you, I think this is the moment where you, like, just accept it and say it.
Yeah, there's been enough just like blatant.
Yeah.
Say the words.
my son. That's what I say.
We see
So
a
you
little
hate-
fairy appear and he starts glowing.
And Dylan goes over and he's like, don't let him hear you say it like that.
Oof.
Hmm.
Ooh, that was good. Some great moments right here, you guys.
Yeah.
Man, we should kill armies more often.
I thought you were gonna say, man, we should record this or something.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get him
Ow.
the artifacts and purge him from the demon that's inside of him.
Yes,
I don't know
that's
if I
true.
knew- did I know he
that
was
will-
demon possessed?
I don't know if you did. Maybe. Either way, yes, that is 100% true. That needs to happen before you give him the artifacts, right?
Right, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Cantarius says, I can do it this time. I'll purge the demon from his body
From
or die
a
trying.
son. Yeah.
And he puts his arm on your shoulder and he says, I will protect your son.
Amazing. Oh, I didn't even think
You
about
killed
how
my
good
daughter,
that is.
but
Yeah,
you're
I didn't think
gonna
about that
save
either.
My son. That's
Right,
good.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
There's that too.
And it
Yeah.
literally, okay, so we got
and exactly what happened with Winter.
Yeah, exactly,
Mhm.
right? Cantarius accidentally got Alphonse's unknown adulterous daughter killed
Yeah.
with the smoke. Alphonse then was the reason that Antonius had to kill Cantarius's son, and now we're
I still don't think Cantarius was to blame at all for that. That was some weird demon magic, and there's no way
You're the one
could have
in the
predicted
narrative.
that.
in the
But
Just
narrative.
lit the bomb.
Yeah,
I didn't
the
know it was going to kill
narrative.
anybody.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
no,
I'm not
it
saying
wasn't though. It was just a normal.
Connor was not to blame for that.
Yeah.
Technically, Cantarius, in a way, was.
Yeah, but
to
how could have Cantarius? There's no way Cantarius
Yes.
could have.
Of course,
Is what I'm trying to say.
This isn't a
It's
rational
manslaughter,
argument.
not murder, right?
Yeah.
You knew there was a demon stick. You just didn't realize how dangerous it was.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, that seems like a good enough place as any is to, like, to call the episode and then just like have a brief conversation about like obviously Artha, but then just like what is the actual plan moving forward now?
Sure.
We're just gonna like
I think we just
storm
decided it. I think it was
Faustus's place?
kill Faustus first, and that's where Alfredo is, right?
Yeah,
I think we kind of assume they're together, right?
his name is
Even if they're
Luca,
not,
by the
that
way.
would get-
Wait,
Lufredo.
No, his name is Luca.
Alfredo. I thought his name was actually Alfredo. I thought
No.
Jared actually named him
That's what I
Alfredo.
wanted
You
to
thought
do,
Caleb
but
let him
wouldn't
do
let
That's
me.
what
I
he
did.
wanted.
I did
That's what
think Caleb let him.
Connor, how dare you?
I mean, I let him name his character
Listen,
Anthony. So
Well, listen,
I guess
we've let
I guess
Anthony
we know who the
Dibbleworst.
cooler DM is.
yeah.
Wow.
Jared get away
Wait,
with a lot.
what's Dylan's son's name?
Achille.
Achille.
What?
Achille.
Tried to call him Achilles, but that wasn't Italian enough, so it's Achilles.
Well, Achille is the
I mean,
Italian
he
version
is a
of that
demigod,
name.
technically speaking.
right. Yeah.
He's a quarter god.
yeah. only his hamstrings are
Pseudo-god.
indestructible.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, so cool. But like, is there a particular plan? Are you just going to take this army? Because like, honestly, I guess part of what I'm wondering is like, where do we cut to next? Like, what is important about this scene?
I think
because
it's just the four of us. I don't think we should take the army with us. I think it's just the four of us. We go kill Faustus.
It's gotta be like we're all standing like kind of in a line, and then we're like, we have to kill Faustus. Then we all kind of like turn around, and then like you see like a slow like pan up, and you see like I don't know if it's the Colosseum or wherever he is, but like
Yeah, the Colosseum, like
yeah,
walls.
you see us kind of like look back because there's like a lane all the way up to the Colosseum, and so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, they're gonna go kind of like in the end of the Two Towers, where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
kinda
you see
like
the
cloudy, you
Mount
see
Doom, yeah.
Mordor in the background. It's like that's where we're going. Except
Yeah,
just imagine
it-
we're all
we get
standing
it.
in line. We're like, all right, we gotta kill Faustus.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we get like this big choir, like
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I
Yes.
just smacked the.
That's
thing.
awesome.
I
My
was gonna
question.
say, I don't want to make my sword gray shaded, but what can I do to make it like special that it glows blue whenever Faustus is near? Because I was like, if he tries to run, I was like, where is he? Oh, he's over there.
I don't think Faustus is going to.
It's a mix between Jack Sparrow's compass and Sting.
Yes.
It goes blue and points in the direction. Of
That's
the direction. Let's go.
I
thought he was
don't
gonna run, so he's gonna fight.
I don't think Faustus is going to like try to run or avoid this confrontation enough that it would matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my
Unless he
question.
rolls a void.
The thing I was trying to say is I could see like if we picked up in media res next session, like right after this conversation, I could see scenes with the king or Kantarius, your uncle. Because if we jump into let's kill Faustus, that's the rest of the game, right? Like we're gonna snowball. This is the last chance you guys have to have any other conversations or do anything else but just like go straight to the finish line. So is that something we want to do, or do we want to just cut straight to the Coliseum? Because I can see
there should be some at least closure on other things. Because like my only closure is telling Aisha that I'm alive and then go kill Faustus, but I don't know about anybody else. That's just my character is like, oh, this is what
because
this
I think
is
the
his
idea would be that like you're getting control of the city again for a little bit here, right? And can maybe like Aisha shows up and you can talk to her. And then let's see, who else do we have that's important here? You guys know that
like kidnapped or something.
Exactly, yeah. You guys know that Sergio went off. Well, at least Alphonse does. Sergio went off to deal with his brother. But like we could catch up with like the king, Kantarius' uncle, Averio.
Yeah, where's the king?
Right.
Yeah, my thought for the king was that he's the reason we don't have an army to do this with, because he's cleaning up the city with it, right?
Yeah, I was just curious if Dellen, like we could also, this could happen in the epilogue too, so like it doesn't need to happen now.
Sure.
But Dellen could have a conversation with him and be like he could just literally say, like, thank you, Dellen. Like it was your, like you killed the commander. Like we could have a good moment between the two of them and like kind of cement what that relationship is going to look like moving forward and get a little moment there. If you're fine with that.
Yeah, I was thinking it made sense for him to talk to the king before they leave, just to make sure that the king's gonna wrap things up.
Exactly. How about like one or maybe two, but like one or two episodes, we're just like, all right, like let's say that we have to gather everybody together and tell everybody, hey, we're gonna go do this. So we're all gonna like split off and tell everybody, hey, we're gonna storm the Coliseum or whatever.
I don't think we're gonna need to split up. I honestly think anyone that's gonna be important enough to talk to could just be here. So I think it's not even going to be a one session's worth. It'll be half a session at most of just like following up with the NPCs that are in the immediate area and making sure that they know what your plan is and what they're going to do, right?
Yeah, a short conversation with the king is the only thing I have in mind. My only other thing is the Inquisition, and they're the smallest chips on the board right now, so I'm fine with just ignoring them until the end.
I was going to say, I think
everything else is in his direction.
Yes, I would like to make sure, because this is going to be the end of the campaign when we finish this arc, basically. Yeah. I want to have at least one full episode of like actual epilogue where we can just we don't hard cut at the climax. We're going to get some denouement,
right?
And make sure that we can wrap up the Inquisition. We can wrap up like any of the political stuff that needs to happen. We can figure out what the characters want to do next, and we can really take our time with like the ending of the whole thing. So I'm not worried that we're not going to get those scenes. But it felt like it makes sense to have some of that conversation now. Yeah.
Also, Dylan told Kantarius it would be 5 minutes, so I'd feel bad if I spent like 30 minutes doing something.
It doesn't need to take a long time. The only thing the two things I for sure had in mind was the king and Kantarius' uncle.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Sure.
And then Averio would be another person who would show up, because like Averio, I need to figure out what was going on with Averio. I know that like he was busy, and it might have just been like fighting. But I'll figure out what's up with him. Right? Yeah, I'll figure out what's up with him and whether or not he's here, and you can touch base with him. I'll make sure that I know where all the NPCs are, so if any of them are around this area and you can talk to them, we can have that conversation next time. Alphonse, Theo, do you guys have any people that you want to talk with for sure next time in that same span? Because I could also add, I could have Aisha be involved in something else, maybe closer to Faustus, and maybe
I think I'd go find her at least before, because like, well, okay, this is kind of going down just in case, like.
Yep, that makes sense to me.
Alphonse. In case I die, it's like, wait, you're alive?
Exactly.
I might die.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Did
at
you have
least
any?
just telling her like,
Do you have any
you know,
thoughts
I'm
there,
not gonna
Jared?
fight.
Probably be there with David for the king part, and
Perfect. Yeah.
maybe Epona if she's around, but I don't know.
But she was
Uh,
also
if that
captured, I
actually-
think,
don't
right?
know
No, she
actually
was
know if that-
captured.
Oh, okay, well,
She's gonna be there.
that'll
when
just
you get there.
happen at the climax then.
All right, cool.
And-
Well, I'll make a note of any other MPs that might happen to be around, but that makes sense as like the main three things is like the king, Kentarius' uncle, and Aegea.
I think it might make sense for Antonius to show up at some point too.
So here's what I'm thinking about for Antonius. Antonius disappeared after the fight in the courtyard after Dellen's speech. He has been infiltrating Faustus's organization and place. I think it. From my perspective, I'm waiting to bring out Antonius for the climactic moment that everything is lost and you need the one person to come in and just stab Faustus in the ribs or something, right? Like, I want to give Antonius a chance to do something because of this position that he's established in Faustus's camp. Whether or not that's like a super big climax thing, I guess that will depend on the roles. But I don't think it doesn't need to be. I don't think it makes sense for him to show up now because the whole purpose of his character in the last 2 seasons has been he's the guy who's getting in with Faustus and has like he's been like infiltrating is the word I'm looking for. He's been infiltrating that.
Maybe he
So
can help us get in or something.
Exactly, right? I think that's what I'm leaning towards with Antonius, if that's fine with you guys.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so don't worry, I haven't forgot about Antonius. It's just that like he's been doing other stuff while you guys are busy, saving the world. He's been doing the thing that he does best, which is like be a background support character. I want to make sure we can get a really good moment with him that like feels like it was worth him being here the whole time. So if you guys see any moment as we're playing that climax that like really feels cool to you to have Antonius show up, let me know and we can make that happen too. So
It's gotta be like when we find Antonius, we all embrace him. We're like, Antonius, we haven't seen him forever. Because like we started off all as sort of enemies. And then like Jared, or Alphonse and Theo kind of had a moment. And then obviously Kentarius and Theo. And then Dellen and Theo had a moment. And then everyone kind of has like their moment with someone. We're like, all right, you're not so bad. And everyone's kind of redeemed. So they're all like good friends now as opposed to just like acquaintances.
Yeah, that would be a cool moment to see. Is like everyone goes over and like hugs Antonius for some reason, like depending on how the scene looks, right? That would be cool. But yeah, I'm imagining like something cool and dramatic, like he steps out from behind the shadows and knifes Faustus when all hope is lost, right? Like that. If we can get that moment, that would be awesome. But we'll see how it goes. The only other like loose thread that I know is around right now is the Inquisition. Lirin, and then Yuma was captured by them too. I'm planning on putting them with Faustus, and so we can probably get to that as like a sub boss before we get to the main boss of Faustus. So as long as you guys are all still on board with that, I think that'll be the idea. There is we'll deal with any of the minor villains that are surrounding Faustus before we get to Faustus. But yeah, we'll kind of lean towards the climax at that point. All right, cool. Let's do Artha. Kentarius. What's your beliefs?
What do I believe? Sorry, I'm in the stats.
Probably got to change them now.
This world is more than blood and gold. I will use the intellectual discipline to clear the obstacles in my path despite the risk. I did not use that a single time in this
You
session.
did not.
But
Yeah, it's just hard to do it in fight. So.
Yeah. The world will not end, not on my watch. I will aid Dellen in the battle against Shoei.
Persona.
I did aid him.
Mm-hmm.
You have been aided. Man, STDs and AIDS today.
Yeah, man.
I am not a demon. I am a demon hunter.
I'm not a demon hunter. Screw this.
I am not a serial killer.
I am a demon hunter. And I have unfinished business with Faustus. I will create an opening so that I can pursue him. I did create an opening, and now we are pursuing him.
Did you create an opening, or did you just work on creating an opening?
No, I created an opening by finishing off the battle.
Right, and then Dellen, yeah, right. We had the whole moment with Dellen where you could have taken the opportunity, you didn't.
I didn't pursue him, but my goal was to create an
Exactly.
opportunity so that I can pursue him.
Yep, you can take a persona. That's fine.
Okay.
If
and
anything, you
then-
could say that this is changing your mind about getting yourself killed is the opportunity. you're creating.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, like, I think he definitely gets Mold Breaker there.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Okay.
That makes sense.
But
Um,
let's do instincts first. I think you can get a fate point for always be on the hunt for demons.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Um,
playing to that.
the
well.
fact that Dellen
makes
had
some
to make
things
that roll at
interesting.
all is because of that. Do we have a humor moment for Cantarius? Oh yeah, yeah. Take a fate point for the hitting the soldier in the head.
Thanks.
That was funny,
That was funny. Right skill, right time. I don't think so. But definitely embodiment and definitely mold breaker for you, Cantarius.
Okay.
Dellen.
All right, I got rid of the Inquisitor one because I don't think it's really going to come up too soon. So I'll keep that's that mouse for it.
I would keep it because as I just described, Liren will be there.
Oh, sorry, I missed that part. I
Yeah.
mean, I just put it in a extra thing. I didn't actually get rid of it.
Yeah.
There. Okay. So
Yep.
Sergio may have repented, but the Inquisition is still beyond saving. I will ensure that its leaders are punished. Didn't do that.
Yes. So you will have a chance to do that next time, as long as we get
Uh,
to Faustus.
Right. To get to Ipin and Luca, I have to reach the demon that has claimed them. I mean, I didn't work on that directly, I guess.
Yeah, I think this session.
I was putting out a fire so I could go do that, but I don't really know if that's.
I'm trying to decide. No, I don't think so. We'll do belief 3 and 4 though, because like,
Yeah.
go ahead and read those though.
Obviously, the mountain looms of force ever larger. I will make sure that Cantarius gets out of this battle alive. That happened.
Yes, Persona, and honestly, that was the one that I was thinking of with like, if anything happened related to Faustus and stuff today, it was just making sure that Cantarius goes with you guys instead of going off by
Right.
himself, right?
True, yeah. Let's see. Technically, reuniting with everybody helped because I didn't even know where Faustus was, and now I have people who do. Does that count?
Oh yeah.
I didn't
Well,
actually
you didn't
do
do
anything.
anything towards it though. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we'll leave it alone. Yeah.
okay. Let's see. Defeat the armies of Shoei. Obviously, did that.
Yes, of course. Yep. Persona.
Sweet.
Good job. And like as a reminder, to really solve that whole thing, you will still need to kill the God of War, right? Like that needs to happen. Someone needs to deal with that guy.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill him, I guess, but
Sure.
someone is going to have to deal with that guy,
That's a
or
problem.
else that meta threat is still
Yeah.
up there, right? That like thread that we've
I
been
didn't
following with Dellen.
Even know that he is involved in any way in character, as far as I know. So I might have to
Well,
be informed.
you
of
do
some
know
things.
that because of 2 sessions ago with that one priest guy, the former Inquisitor who talked to you about like a god talked to me and said we need to get rid of the God of War or else Shoei is gonna never stop.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I
So
forgot
you do
about
know about that.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically what I'm saying is like I don't think that thread has ended yet.
that. Sure.
There will still be one last like thing you need to deal with. Otherwise, he's gonna just try to stir the pot again.
Yeah.
Right.
That sounds like something I might try and do in an like.
It could be an epilogue thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on how things go. Right.
Right. Yeah. Plus, if he shows up, maybe or something. But
That's the spin-off series.
Dellen
whole
plays diplomat.
thing.
All right,
All right.
instincts.
I mean, nothing bad happened to me. I killed everybody. It went great. So
yeah, but I mean, it could also come up in like an interesting way that moves the story along. If you had like made a big deal about Alphonse and the patron saints, then maybe. But yeah, it never does.
yeah, I don't think so.
You just don't ever want to like. He's your brother.
Yeah, well, and I think a little bit of it is that I've gotten used to it, and also the
Exactly.
patron saints I've come to realize are
Yes.
just like as fallible as us. They just have
Yeah.
more power.
Mhm.
So yeah, the more I learn about them, the less it bothers me.
Yep, makes sense.
But yeah, if he had said something about actual God, which is actually the instinct, right, the holy God,
Exorcism.
there
yeah.
might have been an issue.
Yep.
But I don't think he would
Cool.
do that anymore, really. So
Yeah. Humor. Is there a
Okay.
Dellen? I think you're
Oh,
pretty serious
yeah.
today.
yeah, I don't know. There's very much funny. I cut off some people's heads.
Which is funny in some sense.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
there's a humor moment specifically with Dellen that I can remember.
I don't think so. I was gonna call Theo naked, but he wasn't naked, so I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. probably not.
Definitely embodiment.
Thanks.
Right. Great role playing, especially like the moment about like don't make
Oh,
him hear
yeah.
that. Right. Yeah, and then you're like, you crazy guy, like Theo, like come here, buddy, right? Like that was
Yeah.
I don't think Moldbreaker for you. You're pretty confident in your own beliefs and don't have any conflicts
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for you for now.
Cool.
And then Alphonse.
Me. I don't. I didn't ensure they're safe, so I don't think that.
I will give you a fate point on it. Like getting the people, getting the gang back together and whatnot is helping work towards that.
Did I rally? I didn't really rally the people. Did my supreme entrance rally the people?
We didn't make a roll for that. Here's a question, Jared. I would be fine with you keeping that belief and making a roll at the beginning of next session to like inspire people to take back Lucerta, and then have that. Then we can have that be like because again, the cult is still in charge of Lucerta. You could inspire them, and that could be a thing, like a clock happening in the background, just like how much of the city have they retaken, sort of a thing. Because I am personally interested in the Alphonse folk hero arc here too, so I'd love to give you a chance to like make that, bring that to a head there, so you can take a fate point, I think.
Okay. And I survived the encounter with Show.
Yes, but I don't think. Did something just happen that I missed?
Yeah, he's funny. He literally showed up after everybody was dead. He's trying to say he survived.
Yeah, no, I was curious if it was that you're laughing.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny too, but I was
funny.
like, yeah. Sometimes things get said that I don't realize, or there's a connotation. So
well, he was snickering about it, so I knew he knew it was silly, and I just
sure, okay.
It just got me.
If I lose the orb, I'm just curious about that first part. If I lose the orb, the game has come to an end.
I don't deserve anything for that.
Yeah, you're probably right, and you don't need more fate anyway. What am I talking about?
Yeah, I deserve absolutely nothing.
Yeah, did you even make a roll that whole time?
You made a roll for me.
You made a die of fate to see if you impregnated Asia. Yeah, actually, that's a fair point. I don't know if you do get any fate. You didn't actually do anything. Yeah, you're right. You don't deserve anything.
Deed point?
No.
There's at least got to be something for humor, right?
Yeah, you got humor, of course. But I honestly, you know what? Humor, and I'll give you embodiment. You finally said, "That's my son," right? And
that's my soul.
There was other good conversations.
Is that Moldbreaker too?
Sure.
Deed's point. Woo.
No, just 2 persona, I think.
Oh, I thought Moldbreaker was Deeds.
No.
Moldbreaker
is kind of like
similarity, but
yeah, Moldbreaker could lead to a Deeds point. It's certainly like if you get a Deeds point, you've likely got a Moldbreaker at some point in the process. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Theo.
I think I only got one for maybe the last one. I mean, I did roll for it and I succeeded, but I didn't really roll to convince them.
That's true.
Help them, but I did.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Like we could have made the belief about you returning, and that would have been just as relevant. So that's fine. You can just. It was about you being resurrected. So persona there, but I'll give you a fate point for the first one because you are strengthening your faith. You got a difficult test on your faith there.
Yeah.
Right. Like Adam has continuously been suboptimal so that he can get the tests he needs to advance his faith. So, but yeah, I don't know if like your second belief, you're obviously going towards it, but you didn't make a roll.
No, we haven't gotten there.
So,
nope.
Yep. I want to give you a fate point for always trust my friends. It was great, just like as a story thing, right? Like it was really cool to see the moment when Cantarius like thought there was like distance between the two of you and just kind of like acted like he was respectful of a superior, and you just like gave him a hug instead, right? Like that was fun to see. So I'll give you a fate point. Did Theo have humor? He was kind of serious this time.
Yeah, he's pretty serious.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give you a right skill, right time. You were dead. You needed faith to be alive. There you go. Literally only way it would happen.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you embodiment too. Another persona. Sweet. Last thing would just be taking a look at steel tests and making sure that none of you got any steel tests or anything. There's like a mass battle and stuff, so
We still have to roll for being in the presence of a god, or
you don't have to roll for it. But you might get a test from it, right? Yeah. So Alphonse and Theo, you can get a challenging test, ob 10, for being in the presence of the divine. So if you need a challenging test, mark it. What does everybody steals at?
I need one difficult, and I'll be at 9.
Nice. What does everybody steal at again?
8.
8 for you, Theo.
I've
7.
got 9.
You said 7, Jared?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you have 9, Dylan?
Yeah.
Nice. And then Connor has 8. Okay. So I'll just go down. You guys know how the math on this works. So I'll just go down with the obs and see if anything happened. And you can mark the appropriate one. Ob 9 is witnessing or suffering under sorcerous cataclysmic destruction. I think that counts with the meteor and the tidal wave.
Yeah.
Right? So ob 9 there. So for you, David, that would be difficult. For everybody else, it would be challenging.
Oh, I get one too?
Yeah, because it's ob 9.
Sick.
I am the
Well, yeah,
meteor.
but
is that-
I was going to say, I wasn't the meteor, so I didn't know if that counted.
No, you witnessed, right? That's
Oh,
one of the,
I see. Okay.
Witnessed or suffered.
Yeah. Okay. Do we get 2 since it happened twice?
No, I don't think so. Typically, because then we would have gotten 10 tests for being in the presence of 10 gods. That's just not how that works.
Well, you were in the presence of 10 gods once. We saw things fall from the sky twice.
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
What is happening?
Yeah, so ob 9 there. I should mark this for Connor since he's not here. Jared, are you marking these? Challenging test. Let's see. Participating in a mass battle is an ob 5. I don't even know if an ob 5 counts for anyone anymore.
Probably not.
No.
What is it? 8? Yeah, no. Everyone has 8 or high. Wait, does Alphonse have a 7? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
7
It wasn't
steel?
7 yet.
Okay, so it's a difficult test for him, which he needed.
Nice.
So I'm going to let you, unless Jared, you tell me that you need me to mark it. I'm just going to let you do that. Let's see, because that's ob 5. That would only count for Alphonse, but he was there. Yeah, everybody else, nothing else happened that would have hit anybody else's steel trackers. So, just another difficult for Alphonse. So yeah, Alphonse got like a difficult and 2 challengings, which I mean, I don't know if he's marking them. So I don't know if you can hear me, Jared, but you might have just advanced steel.
Okay. Can you just do that for me, please?
Yeah, that's my question, because if you couldn't do it, I was going to do it. No problem. I just want to make sure you hadn't already done it. Yeah. So yep. And that's literally what you needed. You advanced to 8. So
Nice.
for now on, no mass battles will give anyone any steel tests. It's just you're too jaded.
We're so awesome that even mass death doesn't space.
Exactly. Literally, the equivalent that you have to get now to get any tests for any of you is being mortally wounded and surviving, or living under starvation conditions. That's like the lowest thing you could get. and that's only for Cantarius, Alphonse, and Theo. For Dellen, like the absolute lowest you can get is encountering intelligent, sentient, non-humanoid, monstrous creatures is the lowest.
All right.
But again, don't worry.
I'm only
you'll-
one difficult from being at 9, so
like encountering the living dead, sustained artillery barrages, the presence of demons and angels, those are all things that are still on the table that could happen in this game before the end. So.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm not really worried. 9 steel feels pretty decent. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's certainly nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, there we go. That's been our session of Chrome Quizzers. Thanks for playing, guys. That was honestly one of my favorite sessions. I think there was a lot of really cool moments in that. And we're gearing up towards the finish line. I'm very excited to see what happens next on Chrome Quizzers.
Yeah.
All right, we're out. Adios.